Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is Thursday, September 9th, 2021, years after the year zero was founded. In today's show, we're starting a bit differently because today's show is different than the shows of the last 7 long, agonizing, cold, faux enthusiastic months worth of shows, because today is a day where we no longer have to wonder what this season will hold for us. Today is a day where we no longer have to act like we're interested in whatever the fuck we're doing on a Sunday when maybe baseball's on or basketball's on. Today is a day that launches us into something we have been waiting for far too long. Tonight, we begin the 2021 NFL official regular season, and that means one thing and one thing alone. It's a celebration, bitches. Let's go! I'm so happy. The late on oh my God. Now, thank you, boys. When I woke up this morning and I took a shit, it was the best shit I've taken in a long time.
Hell yeah.
Brushed my teeth, guess what? Felt like the little bristle things were going in between the teeth better than they ever have before.
Wow.
Toothpaste was a little bit mintier.
Ooh. Okay.
Shower, perfect temperature.
Nice.
You should have seen the fog, the smoke that was going up on the window. I was able to draw stuff on it for my wife to see later when she gets in there at the perfect temperature. Today has been absolutely, we broke ground on a Coliseum.
Wow.
A new building
Let's
broke
go.
ground today.
Okay.
What? Got football tonight.
What?
We got a super boost tonight that is basically saying, hey, you think they're going to win by 8.5? Let's assume they're going to win by 9.5. Instead of getting it at -105, let's get it at +150. That's at FanDuel right now, super boost. And free daily fantasy entry for $1 million top prize, $4 million in total prizes, and a free bet for the weekend. It is a beautiful time to be alive.
Yes.
I can't thank you enough for listening or watching, whatever the hell you may be. I'm a little winded.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm
Almost
out of
out.
shape. Yeah.
I think I got the COVID lungs still.
Me too.
Cam had this last year, right? I mean, this
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big
Yep.
time. Whole season.
so this is natural.
He had a COVID arm, too.
It's natural.
Well, I know Ben Roethlisberger appears to have that on first take yesterday. At Tone Diggs is here. At Boston Connors here. At Ty Schmidt. The boys in the back. Nick's running audio.
Hey, come on now.
It's going to be great to have Nick back on a microphone on a regular basis.
Hell yeah.
Well, speaking of that, before we get to the football celebration, okay, and we got Ian Rappaport joining us today. It's not going to be it is.
Yeah.
Wrap up the offseason.
There it is.
There you go.
The Rap Sheet Wrap Up and Friends session today. Talk to him in 1 o'clock hour, 2 o'clock hour. We ain't got nobody up. Maybe dumbass Dan Orlovsky.
Ooh,
Okay.
not so dumb.
Yeah, you're right. Not dumb. He put Mac Jones above Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was pretty fucking dumb.
Yeah, well, listen.
Total
we
off.
love Dane Orlovsky.
Love him.
Don't know if he's going to be able to come on, but hopefully he'll be able to. And AJ Hawk will obviously be here. And we got football to talk about, and we got life to talk about. We got the 5-hour energy phone line, 1-833-4 McAfee. We can't wait to talk to you, but we have to address some in-house stuff first.
Okay.
We had a conversation about this last night, and I believe it came to be because I was watching our YouTube clip, and the fire alarm went off.
I remember.
Potential studio caught on fire.
Scary.
And Krusty Socks commented on there. He said, I assume, because Krusty Socks, I assume.
Yeah.
It does involve,
You know what he's doing.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, Jurgen.
bopping.
Yeah.
He said, is it a coincidence that the day after, the pod announces that it's going down to 1 show a week, that the studio catches on fire? Like, is it just a coincidence that maybe fire alarm interrupts the entire show? Never happened before. Just one day after it's announced that the pod is going from 2 shows down to 1 show a week.
Could be.
Is that just a coincidence, or is Krusty Socks right? Is Krusty Socks telling us that the universe says that the pod cannot go down to just 1 show a week?
Hell yeah.
It's a sign.
Can't do it.
It
Can't do it.
Is that what the universe
Let
is
the
telling us?
boys talk.
Feels like it.
With Hammer Dahn every day, and with this show every day,
Right.
and all the other work that does have to get done, 2 shows to 1 show in the middle of a football season gives you guys, especially on Thursday, because Thursday Night Football, that gives you guys an extra couple hours maybe with your families or whatever, and there isn't a lot of that during the football season. And maybe you get a little bit more rest and sleep and have to work a little bit less, and it'll be better for our show, this show. It'll be better for Hammer Dahn. It'll be better for everything, but Krusty Socks did say, like, is it? I don't know. So I just think that's something that you guys should maybe think about.
Yeah.
Maybe not just
Hell yeah.
2 pods a week, but maybe
4. 3.
Oh, at least maybe
I think 7 to be honest with you. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, every
One
day of
day.
the week.
Yeah.
Every
Something
day.
to think about. Tone.
Twice on Sunday.
Wow, there we go.
Right.
That's gonna be tough in the season, but I think you guys. Krusty Socks said this, so I'll let you guys think about it.
Sure.
Okay.
You guys can now ultimately make the decision, but I stand firm with. I think you guys should at least do 2 to 3 episodes a week still. you know?
Okay.
I stand on that side as well, Pat.
Oh, Foxy, you do as well.
I
think it should
love
be-
the pod. It's my favorite show besides this show. So
Bingo.
I'm hoping we bring it back to at least 3-4 times a week.
Me
Twitter
too.
poll, Twitter poll, Twitter poll.
Oh, Zito,
Twitter
Twitter
poll,
poll.
Twitter
Maybe
poll.
maybe from the pod's Twitter account, put that poll out.
Sure.
That'll
Should
be
it be a
great.
stipulation that Zito hosts every episode?
Oh, okay. So, is there a little dissension here, or is there? You're just saying, okay, Zito hosts 4 episodes a week, then, and that's all it's going to.
No, I fucking love doing that show. So, I'll do it as many as the boys want to do. I'll fucking be sitting right here.
If I'm the host, the show gets canceled. So that's probably
Well,
a good
no,
idea.
I don't think that's the case, but I'm happy for you guys to figure that out. And when I read Krusty Socks' comment, it was getting likes. You know,
lot.
so Krusty Socks was not alone. You know, it was a good focus group in there. When I read through and I saw it, I was like, he's right. I'm trying to motivate these boys into continuing to do, maybe more episodes than they've ever done before.
Listen,
Not a bad idea.
we'll do as many episodes a week as we need to. It should also be noted, it was not a coincidence. The fucking jagoffs outside hit a goddamn power line and set the fire alarm off in the entire building. So it wasn't a coincidence.
Huh.
Maybe a coincidence that those guys don't know what the hell they're doing.
Oh,
but
you guys are seeing some rest maybe being taken away from the schedule here as we're staring down the next 18-week regular season on a Thursday with games, with everything else that happens all week. And are you guys thinking maybe the universe was not saying anything at all and Krusty Socks is misreading the entire situation? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. But like I
For
said,
those that
listen,
don't know, okay, listen. The entire office made the decision to going from 2 pods down to 1 pod. And me and Foxy, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hashtag
you fucking guys want to work less. Obviously, that's the entire thing. And we knew there was going to be backlash from the pod fans.
Oh,
We
yeah.
knew it. And as soon as I saw old cum sock or whatever, as soon as I saw that comment, I was like, oh, bingo. This is it. This is how we bring it back. I would like to say on good authority, you guys can't be doing 2 episodes a week of the pod specifically because we have Hammered Down every single day, this show every day. We only have 10 people, and you guys also have, significant others and things that happen in your life. So I will make the adult decision in that thing. But in the offseason, Foxy, what did they agree to yesterday?
I think 3, 4, maybe 5
We
shows
said
a week.
we said at least 1, somewhere between 1 and 3.
No. You guys said that, but then at the end of the agreement, I think it was like somewhere between 2 to 5, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what it was?
I don't know about 5. I mean, I heard 3, and I said I could get around 3 in the off season. 5, man, that's a lot. That's
All right.
a lot.
See,
Right.
the people want that many, but they also don't realize if you do that many, there's nothing to talk about.
Oh, so you're saying for the good of the show.
Exactly.
What a hero.
Thank you.
Hashtag
Thank
say
you,
the pod.
Tone.
Hashtag thank you, Tone, the host.
Yeah. No.
Thank you, host Tone.
That ended a long time ago.
Anyways, we got to move along.
Thank you.
We had to address that, though.
We all know when that fire
Here it
alarm went
comes.
off, it was much more to do with the context of what you were talking about in
that's-
the moment, which was the Cleveland Browns.
Oh,
getting
that does
Super-
make more sense.
Hey, doesn't this kind of stink, though, for the Browns? Legit. Like, we tried to talk about them yesterday. We're actually getting it. I think I actually said he doesn't get enough respect. And then I was going to obviously follow that up with, hey, here's a bunch of really respectful shit being said about this person. And I'm not saying that we are, if we talk about it, it matters, but nobody's really talking about the Cleveland Browns right now. We noticed that because I actually am a fan of the Cleveland Browns. Jarvis Landry's come on this show and been great. Austin Hooper's come on this show and been great. Andrew Berry, I knew him when he was like sleeping on couches, I think, for the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, literally, I'm a big fan of them. Never talk about them. We talk about them one time. Fucking fire alarm goes off, place almost burns down.
So we can't talk about them anymore, or are we just going to put them to bed?
I think today we shouldn't talk about them because today there is one game that we have to talk about.
Hell yeah.
And that's after Ed Sheeran. Buy your merch, $50 t-shirts from NFLstore.com.
That
Cheap.
jacket.
Oh, $400.
Yeah.
There's something else that you're going to learn that's about $400 that is much more worth it, I think, than that Letterman jacket.
It's a $50 shirt too, and I almost pulled the trigger on it just as like a funny thing, and it was not worth that much to be funny.
Okay, so quick question. Will they sell any of those?
6, I was thinking.
Like Ed Sheeran's people will buy that? Is that what they're banking on? Is Ed Sheeran's people to
they're
buy
banking on an Ed Sheeran NFL crossover, which is a very small subsect of the country. So potentially,
Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe might buy
The
that.
Ed heads will come out and support Ed and buy a bunch of those hats and the jackets. I don't know because they will be $450 with shipping. So the shirts, though, they'll probably go.
Yeah, for those that don't know, we're referring to the NFL announced a merch partnership with Ed Sheeran, who will be having the kickoff concert before the game gets started. I am a massive Ed Sheeran fan.
He's the man.
Love Divide.
He is I don't know how a guy, he's against all the odds. Okay, Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
And he has, what?
What odds are you talking about?
Well, that's what I'm saying. He is in a R&B lovey song.
Yeah.
Sings a lot of romance songs. He's incredibly talented though. So it's super, and he's become incredibly attractive too. I think early we all saw Ed and we're like, hey, it's going to be tough, I think, to sing to, maybe
Teeny boppers.
whatever the case is. And then his talent was so goddamn good. And now he's grown like wine. He's like this, I think he's like Jack now at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a guy that I play. I'm happy the NFL picked him because that is normally something that most leagues fuck up, by the way.
Yeah.
And I think Ed Sheeran's something that everybody likes.
Absolutely.
Not everybody. I assume there are people that hate Ed Sheeran, but it feels
Majority.
like a majority of people. Yeah, here's that jacket, the hat combo, that T-shirt up there top right, $50. Speaking of, we have 20% off our entire store right now. Store.com.
Wow.
There's no T-shirts for $50 on there, but I like that Ed Sheeran's there. So the NFL gets it right. I like that we're going to see Tom Brady sprinting out of the tunnel, running across the field, saying, let's go, at a very loud thing. The cannons are probably going to go off. The people are going to go bananas in Tampa Bay who have never seen Tom Brady in person. Even if they're a season ticket holder, lifelong Tampa Bay fan, there were other lifelong Tampa Bay fans that got tickets probably ahead of them. There is everybody in Tampa Bay. They're probably already starting tonight in a boat, or starting today in a boat parade for this entire thing. That place is going to be bananas tonight. And then you got Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys coming to town. That's always a hype machine. I mean, here we go. Whenever we talk about, great night.
Yeah.
This is a great night we're staring down. Now, Tampa Bay minus 8.5 at this point. We knew it was going to move to 8. It moved to 8.5. It's at minus 105 there, so it's probably going to stick at this number at minus 8.5 probably for the rest of the day. If you think they're going to win by 8.5 over the Dallas Cowboys, which I happen to fall into that particular department,
Right.
I believe Ty.
Yeah, I mean, actually, in honor of Bruce Arians showing up to you guys' practices wearing all black for the defense, I have worn all black because I do believe that the Bucks are going to rout the Cowboys.
Oh, that's going to be a
tonight.
funeral.
Here we go.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's Bruce. Classic story. Bruce Arians, his first OTAs back with the Indianapolis Colts, because he was with the Colts when Peyton was there early, like his, I think, rookie year, second year. Then he obviously leaves, ends up at the Steelers, the whole thing, and then he comes back to the Colts. And I think our defense realized quickly that the way Bruce Arians operates in practice is much different than everybody else. So Andrew Luck, or whoever we had playing quarterback, I don't even know if Andrew Luck was there yet because he had to finish getting his architectural commercial master's doctorate, whatever it is. So he actually missed, number 1 overall pick, missed like 2.5, 3 weeks of OTAs because he had to get his degree in super duper architecture or whatever the case is.
Genius.
So BA's playing with brand new offense. I don't even think he had Andrew Luck. Reggie Wayne's there, though. A lot of guys are still there. And there was a day, I guess, where BA just absolutely pounded the defense. I mean, the offense just all first team, second team, third team. It was a clean sweep. And BA was not quiet while these things were happening. He was talking to the defense. I believe Antoine Bethea was gone at that point. I forget who he was. He was going back and forth with somebody. There was a full, and it was a yelling match. And I had never seen this happen before. I'd never seen an offensive coordinator talking shit to entire defense, basically. Talking loud enough to one person so that the entire defense could hear. I'm like, oh, okay, this guy's a shit talker, and he's a coach. Like, this is awesome. Like, this is something that I'm excited I'm getting to see. And I think everybody in the NFL that has played on a Bruce Arians team would say the same thing. Like, hey, this fucking guy wants to win just as bad as we do. This guy wants wants to win in the same fashion we do, by the way. He's a guy who, when the Bears didn't give him the head coaching job and he ended up at the Cardinals, they played the Bears, they're up 21 in the fourth quarter. He's still throwing the fucking deep ball because he is petty enough to remember that they hired this guy out of the Canadian Football League to be the head coach over him, and whenever he just did what he did with the Indianapolis Colts during the Chuck Pagano leukemia year or whatever. So he shows up after that OTA practice where it got loud. Maybe it was the first time I saw it or whatever. And he's got the black Kangol hat, the one he always wears. He's got a black shirt on, black shorts on, black high, like tight compression socks, black shoes. And I sat right next to him in every single team meeting. And literally, I looked at him. I'm like, okay, well, a little thinning, black today, a little Gawny Cash out there. He goes, it's a fucking funeral, baby. We killed that fucking defense yesterday. And he just continued to look straight whenever he said it. I just started dying laughing. And then when it was his turn to speak, by the way, there was a full promo to the team and why he was wearing, and then obviously you got Robert Nabal. Fuck you. There was a full, it's like one of those things. BA knows that Tampa Bay hasn't gotten a chance to experience this as well. That coaching staff has been around the block forever. If there's any coaching staff that would hopefully have the boys' mindsets ready of the young players, I guess, because with a very veteran-led team, vets know you got to show up. Like, hey, you got to show up to camp, you got to do this, you got to do your own thing, you got to be in shape. And I think with the drive that they have to go undefeated, I love that you honored BA wearing all black because tonight's going to be a funeral for the Cowboys. I just hope it's the case. It seems too obvious, Connor. Right now, it seems like we're all on it so heavily. The boost is minus 9.5. How often we can do a scoregami thing? Is 9 a normal spread?
Nah.
I don't think so.
No.
So if you think they're going to win by 8.5, you assume they're going to win by 9.5 as well. At FanDuel, my boost is 9.5, and it's plus 150, and then minus 8.5, it's minus 105. It's if they win by 9 and you don't bet both, you only bet mine, I'm not going to refund you, but I will apologize for it.
Yeah, definitely.
I will apologize for it. But it feels like everybody on earth right now is hard on Tampa, except for even Jerry, I feel like, is on Tampa Bay tonight.
He knows, and I think earlier in the week it was like a 60-40 split. I'm sure that changed a little, but, I saw your 9.5. I took the super boost, and I said, you know what? What am I even doing here? Let's go to 13.5. I feel like this could be an easy 2-touchdown game. I am worried about the last second. Hey, let's get some points on the board, field goal, some bullshit, so they only win by 10. But I'm comfortable with them winning by 14 tonight, honestly. And we've been all on the same, bet before.
All of us and won.
And have won. So I'm not too worried about it at the moment. I think that this is just an obvious one. Don't overthink it. Take the Bucks.
Because all anybody's thinking right now at home is, they're all on the same side. This ain't good. And people are dancing on our graves already that are betting on the Cowboys. I've had a lot of, sharps that have 6 followers on Twitter, with their own podcasts that get streamed, telling me, this is a sucker bet, bad bet, my boosts are the worst things about, and they don't follow me. They only follow, they actually do not like me, I think, these people. And I'm wondering, when you say stuff like this, though, us, and I was about to tell you, you love living under the rim. He just said, hey,
live for it.
Alternate spread, actually. It's going to be even bigger because there's a chance that a 12-year-old named Aristotle could dunk on you. There's a chance that people tomorrow could dunk on you.
Yeah.
But we've been under the rim this entire week about this game. As soon as we saw what it was, I immediately was, there isn't a spread big enough at this point. Now, people say we're reactors, maybe. But you got to remember, we're another season into this thing, too.
That's right.
Hey, how come everybody else who gets older in their profession gets better, but for us, everybody's thinking we're getting worse somehow? And when it comes to gambling, it's like, nah. Yeah, we're only getting better at the gambling and predicting out here, especially because we got a show that comes on every single day, Hammer Dahn, with Diggs and Gumpy. Gumpy, who's in the back now, ripping and clipping. I appreciate you, Gump. Gump's got the hold of my Twitter account whenever I'm live on the microphone. Hey, good luck out there, pal.
Good luck, Gumpy.
Hey, what could go wrong, pal? What could go wrong?
Hey,
Wait, you let fake Gump run your...
So that was not artificial. That was not deep.
This guy.
Oh, shit! Bro, we were having such a good day. We lost one of our members. Moment of silence for deep fake Gump. I feel like he'll make an appearance again.
Goodbye.
Absolutely.
Goodbye, Paul.
Nick's 4 feet away.
He'll grab it.
But Hammer Dahn, the hottest gambling show on earth, I think. I mean, I have not done enough research to stamp that, but there's nobody that could be hotter than these fucking guys. It makes no sense. They're going to continue this heater, and they're going to go. Who was the first person that maybe dropped a little seeded dot on Tampa minus 9.5 this morning. One of the hottest bettors we have, Tone Diggs. What's this all about? Why are you
That's beneficial.
all week you've been with us. All week he's been with us. Gumpy's been with us all week. The hottest gambling show that is happening, hammer it down. They just give out winners. That's literally what they do. If you would have bet with them this entire offseason since they started, I think they're like 70%, 60% hit streak. 70% maybe even higher than that. I'm not, Gumpy probably knows.
Above 60.
Yeah, so like you're making money off of these fucking guys, okay? And they've been on our side all week, so that I'm like, hey, FanDuel, need a super boost, by the way. Let's get this thing
Feeling
9.5.
great.
Got the best in the fucking world on our side as well. Not just our feelings and not just my experiences telling me how I feel like this is probably going to go, but also we got the hottest gamblers on earth. Hey, let's go. Let's hammer this thing. Then I walk in this morning. What do we got? Old Diggsy Dahn saying, nah, is what the COVID cowboy said, going back into his cave, saying, hey, I'm going to go grab a bat and bring back COVID if we fucking have to. I don't like it. You're Debbie Downer right now, Diggs.
I was doing it for the team. Not every single one of us can have all the confidence in the world in this bet hit. So one of us has to be negative about it.
I disagree.
Yes. Positivity
I'd
triumphs.
be more negative about it, but only 55% of the bets and 55% of the money is on the Bucks. Like if it was 70 or 80, like it is in this.
It's good.
Like I would feel much worse.
It's higher than 70 or 80 in this office.
Yeah.
It's just mint. I believe.
Why now?
Tony, you
Tony,
No.
flipping?
Still on the Bucks.
Come on, Tone.
Are you hedging again?
My bets always do better when I hate them.
And you hate the Bucks.
I am better when I hate myself.
So the Bucks just feels like it's too obvious. And Ed Sheeran's going to put on a great show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Obviously.
yeah. That's a
And
lock.
there's some touchdown scoring props for tonight as well. And I want to let everybody know that I hope Diggs, the Dallas Cowboy Diggs corner, I hope he does incredible. I hope that guy goes on to be super duper all pro because his kid is the coolest kid of all time.
yeah.
That kid needs a show. That kid needs to be doing whatever. That kid is the coolest kid of all time, which, by the way, probably great parenting, right? I mean, that is something. So I hope he does incredible. But there's some touchdowns. Like, let's assume Zeke is going to maybe find the end zone.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay? He's in the best shape he's ever been. It feels like, Mike McCarthy maybe knows that Zeke is there. Without Zach Martin.
Missing their best player. Vita
Oh,
Vea and the
my
boys in
God.
the middle.
But he'll get some red zone touches.
Yeah, they'll feed him, right?
If they make it to the red
they just
zone.
paid Dak a bunch of
I
money,
think
though.
first touchdown for Zeke's like plus 600 or 700, which
And then that means
is not terrible.
that means they would be taking the lead as well.
Yeah,
which means
but-
probably not great for the buzzsaw we've been predicting early. Whenever Tom comes out and just dominates, and then all of Tampa goes bananas, and then the cannons.
Well, if you like the other side, a Tommy 1 yard sneak for a touchdown is plus 1,300, I believe. I sprinkled on that a little.
Oh, and his 300th regular season start. How about he put a video out this morning and the caption said, year 22, let's go. And I just wrote, year 20. What a joke. Jesus. Year 22. And if you look at like the top jersey sales right now, okay, it is a beautiful thing because Tom Brady, year 22, third highest. There it is. Josh Allen, number one selling jersey since August 1st.
Wow.
Gets that big deal done. Buffalo Bills fans say, all right, fuck it, we can buy a jersey now. Because you got a lot of dads probably up there. I ain't buying a jersey. We buy a jersey, the guy leaves the team. This has happened ever since we were kids. I ain't doing it anymore. If Josh Allen signs a deal, we'll buy you a fucking jersey. Josh Allen signs a deal forever, everybody gets a jersey.
Give me one.
Josh Allen Town has officially arrived up there in Buffalo. Not that it hasn't already. I mean, I remember that video clip of him coming out of the airport at that late night where they were going bananas, where they weren't allowed to be around him. Bills Mafia is electric. Josh Allen is the perfect quarterback for Buffalo.
Perfect.
Without question.
It's like when a guy matches a city so well, like Dan Marino and Miami.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, they were perfect together.
It's got Mac
What's
Jones.
that about?
What's that?
What was that about?
He's perfect for Miami.
You've watched
You talking
Tommy.
about the Devil's Dandruff?
Whoa, you don't have to.
Holy
I'm just talking about he enjoyed the sun, I believe.
Yeah.
A good
Beach.
time. It
Great
was a
tan.
beach.
Always had a great tan.
He loved Snowflake. You know what I mean?
Right.
Big song.
The field goal kicking Dolphin. Just couldn't get the laces around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that was a much larger NFL problem than just a Miami Dolphin problem because at that particular time, when Finkel was kicking down for the Finns and the boys down there, they didn't have a designated long snapper. So normally it was like a defensive end or a tight end or a linebacker. So the operation was terrible. Because now, by the way, everybody, laces out, laces out, laces out, laces out. And you'll hear some stooges on TV. And in college, it's a little bit different because obviously they're still trying to learn the trade. But in the NFL, laces are on the snapper. Okay, so let's just as we go into the season, I've said this before, I just want to make sure that we get this clear. It's a much different time than when Ray Finkel was fucking up games.
Remember that.
Or Dan Marino, depending upon how, because laces are a big deal when it comes to accuracy on kicks. So Finkel did have a valid point to be pissed off at Dan Marino.
Sure.
Okay, I would like to let everybody know that. Now, Snowflake seemed to get around it, never fucking missed.
No.
Down there in that Miami Heat, loved the job or whatever. But I think now it needs to be understood that laces are on the long snapper. Long snappers, some cases, are getting paid $1 million to long snap. They're not even allowed to get hit at this point because they are a specialist through and through. Their job is to snap the ball the exact same every single time, the same amount of rotations. It is an impossible job. I can never do it. It might sound crazy, but this is how long snappers in the NFL are actually judged. Same exact snap, same amount of rotation, so that when you catch it, it's at the same exact spot every time. Because the operation's happening so much quicker now because you got 4-2s coming off the edge. Whew. Going into the season, I think we have that understood.
Is there any way you can practice that, or is that all just like reps?
Oh, yeah, practice,
and it's
yeah.
just. But I mean, like after, like our guys aren't even thinking about that though, right? They
So
just.
it's just like a Dude Perfect video, right? So, Dude Perfect video, you have a football. You throw it as hard as you can. Where it lands, okay, I'm going to put a garbage can right here.
Mm-hmm.
Now I just have to throw it as hard as I can, and that's probably where my limit is. For instance, Tom McMahon, okay? This son of a bitch. His hardest throw from 20 yards was the crossbar. Okay, so if he missed it the first time, it was because the ball didn't come out clean. If he gets his hardest throw on a line, that thing is going to just hit the thing. So if we had a game, obviously 5, 10, 15, and then 20 was the winner. Tom had trouble 5, 10, 15 because he actually had to feel it in there.
Mm-hmm.
But if he got to where the final line was and we're all racing, to do this was like a relay type thing. If he got there, we were done because that was his full thing. Dude, perfect, same thing. Snapper, same thing. I think okay, this is how many ball rotations it is on my full snap, whatever it is. And then the holder's job is to find the exact distance that is 8 1/4, 8 1/3, 8 in the hand, 8 in a whatever it is, maybe 8 right on the corner, which is everybody. So that's why you see different spots in depth. And that's why whenever a ball's in the middle, it's a much bigger deal because you're just kind of guessing at that thing. Their job is not to get the laces perfectly straight every single time. It's to get it in a window from, if you're looking at a clock, and 12 would be straight down the field from 9 to 3.
Yeah.
That is their job. The holder's job is just to get it, just a quick little turn. Anyways, Dan was perfect in Miami.
Yeah, he was.
He was perfect in Miami. Shouldn't have had his ass holding. Josh Allen, perfect in Buffalo. Mac Jones seems to be the right guy for New England.
Absolutely.
He's number 2 bestseller in the jersey since August. Once winning the starting job, I assume that amplified a bit because the buzz was already there for Mac Jones. As soon as he came on the field in the first preseason game after Cam Newton went out, the Foxborough went insane.
Ballistic.
And they showed Cam, and Cam seemed to be handling it much better than a lot of people probably would. Andy Dalton has to deal with this same type of thing. But you couldn't help but notice, it feels like New England loves this guy. And then he turns out he's a starter and feels like he fits the place perfectly.
Oh, yeah, like a gem. And you heard him in his interview yesterday. He damn near sounds like Belichick when he's talking on the phone.
And by the way, that is why jersey sales do so well. Like when the person represents the city perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is how this thing goes. Tom Brady, Justin Fields in Chicago, Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. Those are the top 5. And the good news for Mac Jones is he's starting in the same exact place almost as Tom. His jersey sales is much higher. If he could stay in that top 3 for the next 21 years, he'll be able to do whatever Tom Brady was able to do.
Yeah, especially if he switches, teams. Then
when you guys run him out of time.
Yeah, exactly.
You talk about when you guys run him out of time.
No, just like when, he asked for a bunch of money because, at this point he's won 7 Super Bowls with New England, so he warrants it. But Bill, who will be, 98 by the time, he'll probably also say, and I'm about to hang it up. Let's try and do this one more time before I'm 110. Then.
No, I think the issue is going to be Matt Patricia's going to be making these decisions.
Yeah, that's right.
Matty P is not stepping in front of Steve Belichick with that mullet.
I
Okay,
think he is.
A GM?
Stevie B.
Did Steve?
Matt, are you okay with this? Yeah.
Patricia's not getting enough credit
And
for
he
the
was
Mac
right.
Jones pick.
Yeah,
Exactly,
exactly.
especially if he does well. Matt Patricia had to give the final
Steve.
okay there.
His team.
I didn't see Steve making that pick. Did you?
Hey, what if
Season
Tom
film.
Brady wins 7 Super Bowls with Tampa Bay? That could happen.
Hats
Hey,
off
just
to
want to
him.
let everybody know that could happen.
Possible.
It is a long shot, okay? It is a long shot. But what if Tom Brady wins more Super Bowls with Tampa Bay than he did in New England, and Connor just has to sit here for the next 8, 9 years of his life? By the way, if Tom plays till he's 50, it wouldn't be the first NFL player that played when he was 50.
No, Blanda.
Blanda was able to play, and I think he was actually buzzing through 4 to 5 Marlboro packs.
Yeah,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is way more impressive.
I think Tom would even say that is impressive, that his body was able to be, and that was, they just taped people, like duct tape.
Yeah, exactly.
They actually would just put duct tape on people. Blanda, Western Pennsylvania guy, I do believe, obviously. I think he's Western Pennsylvania.
That makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah. Tom's 4 years older than the next oldest starting quarterback.
If he just goes on to win the next 6, and they here's 7 in Tampa, he's like, all right, where's my yacht? Need to change the name a couple times. I'm going to get the fuck out of here now. Giselle, that's what I had to prove. Boy, because remember, Giselle asked him allegedly, hey, what do you have to prove or something immediately after the Super Bowl? Allegedly. We don't know if any of this is true or not, but allegedly that was asked because that spurred a conversation for like 3 weeks. Like, was Tom Brady going to retire? What else does Tom Brady have to play for? And then Tom Brady did that draft-a-thon thing. He was like, I give up 2 rings to be undefeated. He was like, oh, look, the fucking guy figured out what he's playing for.
That's what it is.
Hey, he figured it out all of a sudden. That must be good news.
As long as he doesn't come back 28-3 in any of those 7 Super Bowls that he could possibly win in Tampa, I'll be okay.
Blanda's from Westmoreland, Connie.
Western Pennsylvania.
Right next to us.
This is not it because this is a green tea. Okay, no liquid cane sugar. Couple Splendas. Need the big boy.
Yep.
A lot of people have been asking lately. That is what it is. Then I will move over to a Celsius and mix in a water.
Okay.
Okay,
What?
that is what the normal day routine is. But the water over there, Western Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
there's actually pieces of steel in the water.
Oh, yeah?
And bodies.
Iron.
So people are wondering why George Blanda was able to play in the NFL until he was 50, when they only had duct tape as a medical athletic training device. He, son of a bitch, was drinking iron his entire life.
Iron water and cowboy killers.
Hell yeah.
That's right.
I'll do it.
You throwing a couple icy lights down there.
More than a couple.
Yeah, it's river
Couple
water.
per quarter.
Listen, let's not even talk about the water that they filter with steel that you're drinking as a child out of the faucet and the hoses.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the river water they put in the cans and sell as icy light to people. A lot of bodies in there. So
Yeah.
you're building up other people's antibodies.
That's right.
George Blanda could have played till he was 70 if he wanted
It's
to.
not even beer. It's just water in a can that gets you fucked up for some reason.
Yeah, that was the GB4. What's George Blanda's number?
I think like
7?
88 or something. Some weird number.
TB12.
19.
TB12 is much different than the GB Blanda's number.
What happened?
GB 62.
16.
GB16 was much different, I believe, than TB12. And I'm only saying that because he is from an area we are from, so we're assuming he acts just like us.
Yeah.
He does.
We're back at 4 minutes. 1-833-4 McAfee with your phone calls. Let's celebrate the NFL starting today.
Here we go.
We got Ian Rappaport in hour 2.
Is
Breaking news.
Dane?
2:40.
Yes.
Dane Orlovsky.
Okay.
So that's good, actually, because it only limits us to a 14-minute conversation.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank God.
He's already on his shit.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Can't wait to chat with him. I love him. I love Dane mostly because we can say everything we just said to him, and Dane will have full research project coming back at us.
Yep.
Completely opposite human as I am, and all of us are. Can't wait to chat with him. 240, Ian Rappaport, AJ Hawk, and your phone calls on the other side. 5-hour energy phone line. 1-833-4 McAfee. We'll see you in 4 minutes. The NFL is implementing the Hawkeye replay system, which has the smart technology, which is synchronized multi-angle replay technology, which allows the ref to view all of the shots and angles of a certain play at the same damn time, as opposed to what they've been doing all along, which is TV producers deciding what replays they see when. Are you kidding me?
Unbelievable.
What? Now, we know a lot about these TV producers, okay?
Yeah.
I couldn't see Joey Josh Chestnut eat his 76th fucking hot dog, all right? Bullshit. On 4th of July to break his own record because of a production. We've seen a lot of other rather terrible decisions made in television and broadcasting of games made. Those same people now, I'm learning, were the people that were deciding what angles the 95-year-old refs in the NFL were getting to see. This is absurd. Thankful that the XFL, who had the Hawkeye smart technology, synchronized multi-angle replay technology, either created, invented, or used from other places, like tennis has this, I believe. I like that we're expediting the replay system. I like that we're getting up with the times. Replay should be an asset to the NFL as opposed to what it is, which seems to be a burden. The pass interference replay thing, because of how terrible they botched the execution of that, it probably will never be brought up or thought about again, because fans will be able to say, oh, remember when they did that last time? It's like, no, remember how they executed that last time. The replay system is run by people who have not a lot of experience with maybe quick, slow-mo, fast forward, maybe just content being in their face all day, every day. I like that we're making this better. It's better for the game. It's better for everybody. There's a lot of money on the line. Let's not let an opportunity pass where we can utilize technology to make sure the right shit gets done. Let's just do it in a much more efficient fashion. I've always felt that way, AJ.
Well, it's much more efficient, but it makes me question, how did we go this long to where a TV producer is controlling what replays, what angles you're going to see, for the referee, that kind of blows my mind when you think about it.
Yeah, I read it yesterday and I almost axled my pants.
Yeah.
I didn't, because I'm an adult, but you get it.
I don't know. I bet you have in the last 5 years.
No, I haven't, but I had. There was that one time where I thought it was going to be a sound, and it was actually action.
Yeah, a little close. That's a different story, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't a full axle, I don't think.
Yeah, no, sharding is not
You didn't
pooping.
step in it.
Whoa, I have a little couth on for the goddamn good of the show. But speaking of that, I was quite alarmed whenever I read that TV producer. I'm like, the same people that are making a lot of the decisions that we get a chance to witness every single week are the same people that are deciding whether or not a play that I have a lot of money riding on potentially is overturned or not. I am not about that. Thank you. I'll tell you what, it was pretty cool. Roger Goodell gave me a big hug beforehand too, so that's cool, sir. Thank you so much. Shane, you drinking? Yeah. Cheers to you, man. That was a good one. That was good. I feel like it went pretty good. Oh, look at the phone.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
There is no better feeling than breaking free and going untouched into the end zone.
Hell yeah.
We are partnering with Fluidmaster, okay?
Fluidmaster?
I heard about this just a couple days ago. Bruce was on the ones and twos.
Hey.
I am actually pretty excited about this. Now, not a normal partner of ours, okay? Fluidmaster is the world's #1 toilet repair brand.
Wow.
Yeah, and each week they want us to award the NFL player who has the best untouched score each week. You know what this means. You know what an untouched score is.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason why it's an untouched score, let me explain to you. Fluidmaster will be sending them, the winner, a Soft Spa 9500 bidet.
Whoa!
Yeah, because when you're done with your business, there's no more satisfying way to clean your back porch than getting untouched with a refreshing spray of warm water from Fluidmaster's Soft Spa 9500 bidet.
Well said.
Yeah, and it's obviously people are wondering, hey Pat, why'd you do a deal with somebody who's just going to gift NFL players stuff? Funny you say that, because each week you will have an opportunity to predict who will have the best untouched score each week, and you have your own chance to win a Fluidmaster Soft Spa 9500 bidet and $200 that you're going to need to probably be able to hook it up to your toilet.
Hell yeah!
Just tweet us with hashtag PMS Untouched with your answer before games start on Thursday. Okay, so you must tweet, obviously, hashtag PMS Untouched today before this game starts.
Right.
Here. And you have to guess who will have the best untouched score, because when you're done doing doo-doo, it's best when you're untouched with your friends at Fluidmaster and their 95 hunch soft spot.
That's a great model. Great model.
I will say this is an expensive thing to get.
Oh, yeah.
Very.
So to make it easier, they will be, if you use promo code PAT4930 in honor of my 49.3 yard punt average in 2016, my last season.
Okay. That's
Led the
pretty
NFL,
fucking
by the
good,
way. Good research by Fluidmaster. Appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
I was actually over 50 for a good bit of time, and then we had the pooch and punts, and it fucked everything up.
Come on.
49.3 punt average in 2016. Use promo code PAT4930. You'll save $49.30 off of your soft spot 9,500 bidet at fluidmaster.com. Shout out to Fluidmaster. Okay, so you're tweeting hashtag PMS Untouched. Who you think will be Tyreek Hill? Okay,
Right,
here's
of course.
Christian McCaffrey's back. We've seen videos of him a couple years ago just breaking free out there. Most returners, you can kind of give a little look-see for some returners here, some things. And if you guess Tyreek Hill, a lot of people are going to guess that, so your odds are probably going to be low because then they'll randomly select, I think, out of anybody that gives the right answer or whatever. So maybe try to find out some returners. Maybe let a speedster kind of get loose.
Any
out
one
there.
of the 49ers this weekend.
What's that?
Any one of the 49ers.
Yeah, because their run game's unbelievable, and they have a lot of games. What's that?
And the Lions. They're playing the Lions.
Oh, Tony.
And they stink.
So I was thinking that strictly because I remember the 49ers and that playoff game against the Packers where they had 5 straight touchdowns, I think, where the guy wasn't even touched.
Yeah, 186 yards.
That was the
More
NFC
contact.
Championship game 2 years ago.
Yes, it was.
And Shanahan's things, can kind of look for Kittle down the middle, maybe screen.
Yeah.
Kelsey, he gets in there. And it doesn't have to be a long touchdown, just if they get into the end zone untouched, boom, they'll be automatically entered. You can guess who it is. Hashtag PMS Untouched. You'll win. Potentially, you'll enter in to win a Fluidmaster softball 9,500 a day. You get $49.30 off if you use promo code PAT4930.
Pretty good deal.
They're $400.
They're very expensive, and you also are probably going to have to pay for the labor to get it installed.
Yeah, because plumber's going to have to come in and hook up the water to the bidet. But once it's in there, high society on your ass.
Yeah,
cuz.
don't have to buy toilet paper
Oh, my God. You go to Vegas, you get in a hotel room, and it's like a nice hotel room or whatever. Vegas seems to have the most bidets in the history of any city in whatever. You sit down there, and as a younger man, you're probably, I ain't using that or whatever. As I've gotten older, you go ahead and put that son of a bitch on, go ahead and put it on warm, and you just go ahead and sit there, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes if you want. Just go ahead and then let the fan come in on the other side. It's like a car wash for your gooch.
Nice.
Bingo.
Don't have to take a shower after a really messy dumps anymore. You
Bingo.
can just go.
Let's
boom.
go.
Use the Fluidmaster.
Shout out to Fluidmaster.
Yeah.
They are pricey though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But you could enter to win one for free, plus $200, which is probably what it's going to take to get the whole thing installed.
Right.
Hashtag PMS Untouched. Live a life of luxury with your butthole with our friends at Fluidmaster. And guess who will have the best untouched touchdown of the week? Who's going to be determining that? Bruce? Let's get to the phones.
Bruce, the play?
You think the play, don't care who makes it?
Because if it's like an 80-yard untouched versus like a 10-yard untouched, you probably have to go with the 80-yard.
Yeah, but when it's a 10-yard untouched, it's like a spectacle where something happens where a tight end jumps over a guy. You know what I mean? And somehow, I think you guys are picking.
Or like a classy, obviously it's not going to happen because he's not still playing, but a Peyton Manning naked boot.
Yeah, that's
Was great.
That was beautiful. I actually was there for, I think, his longest run of his career. It was against the Raiders, and it was at the end of the game. Dominic Rhodes, I think, was at running back, if I do recall. And the only reason why I think I remember Dominic Rhodes was there is we were all at dinner one time, and Dommy was hyping up the story while it was being told because Dominic thought he was getting the ball. So a play was called at the line while time was running out or whatever, and a defensive lineman was on the Colts, knew what the call was. Defensive lineman, though, couldn't hold it in. Defensive lineman screams while Peyton is under center, it's going right here, which is, the guy was 100% right. The guy was 100% right. Peyton doesn't say anything to anybody, okay? Dommy actually thinks he's getting the ball. I think he stops in when he didn't get it, and Peyton's loose, and then he ends up sliding down or whatever. The game's over, and he's fucking celebrating. He thinks he slides at like the 4 or something like that. Game over. One of the most beautiful things of all time. Didn't score, by the way, because game could have ran in there.
Yeah, right.
But those ones on the 5-yard line where that gazelle would fucking get out on those.
Wow.
I don't even think the offensive line or the running backs knew most of those times. I think that was all like a...
Good sell.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and risk it, roll the dice here. But you're right. How will we separate that? How about what if a tight end or what if a tackle's eligible?
Oh, then
big man touchdown.
And it's a screen.
I think that's automatic, right?
Nah, I'm not making. You're making these rules. I'm not making these rules.
If you guess a lineman to score and he does untouched, they should automatically win one.
Yeah, but bro, we're talking about a fucking softball 95 hunch here.
That's what I mean.
Right.
If you predict, the left tackle of your team to catch a pass untouched.
They're saying this thing has the capability of being that geyser out at that park if you need it. Yellowstone. And then all the way down to just like a little puddle flop if you need it.
Wow.
No matter what your sensitivity level is, the 995 hunch softball, it's fucking ready for your.
I heard you could power wash your house with it if you really want.
Really, you turn that thing sideways.
Also, will
Get
cost.
do a little pressure washing of the floor in the bathroom with that thing.
I heard if you got something stuck in your throat, you just turn it way up.
Oh, yeah, because they do have those toothpick flosses that are water now.
That's right.
So you actually pick that thing up
Oh,
and
no,
just,
I mean it goes all the way through your body and out your
well, it has the capability to do that, but it also, you could dumb it down and really get inside. The canines, I think.
Clean your teeth with it.
I mean, we wouldn't recommend it, but we're just saying the 95 hunch softball, it doesn't fuck around.
No, it doesn't.
Can do it all.
Premier model on the market.
We have not used it.
No.
Not one of us.
No.
But we do have one getting set up, I believe, today. And our buttholes will will let you know how we felt and how often you should enter in to win one of these things.
I'm excited to use it. I'm sick and tired of buying wet wipes. So, it'll be nice to be able to use that.
By the way, that's quite an adult move when you go from toilet paper to wet wipe.
Oh, yeah. I'm done with toilet paper.
Strictly a wet wipe guy.
Yeah. 100%.
Austin Collie brought that into my life. Training camp, rookie year. Because when you're training camp, at least where we were, public shitters.
Right.
Okay?
Sure.
Middle of the night, I think late night, I had to go. Austin, I think, had to go. He walked in there with wet wipes, and I go, you clean a baby? I forget what I said. He was like, oh, life changer, dude. And then he slid it underneath the thing over to me a couple stalls down. I think I did get in. No, he got in first, so he had a handicap stall. I was down a little, down the smaller one. He slid it over. I tried it out. Okay, I'm never doing that little thin shit ever again.
Nope.
And then the bidet got introduced, and it's like, here's the
Graduate
doctorate.
once again.
Here's the
Exactly.
doctorate of toilet paper.
That's right.
It is pricey, but you can say $49.30 right now.
Absolutely.
We will not talk about it that long ever again, but it was a huge off-air conversation this
Oh,
time.
yeah.
You should have heard when this was presented to us at $400. We ain't fucking selling any of these to anybody. What are we doing? Well, they say you can take off $49.30. They'll give one away. They'll give another one. I was like, all right, I fucking love this company. Yeah. And the reason why it's expensive is because the technology to get that type of capability on your butt.
I mean, it's the Ferrari of portable bidets.
Yeah.
It's not portable because you have to have someone come out and install it.
And somebody has to come into your house.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which is quite an annoying process. But I think we'll all agree, all of our buttholes would agree that after that process happens, your butthole is much happier.
Never going back.
Happy buttholes.
Happy buttholes. Shout out to Fluidmaster. Let's go to the 5 Energy phone line. Let's go to Devin in Minnesota. What's going on, Devin? They're going to love that, I bet. They're going to love that. I bet Fluidmaster's
Hey, what's
pumped.
going on, Pat and the boys?
Hey, Devin, first day of NFL football, 2021 season. Let's go. Let's have one, pal. What do you want to talk about?
Hey, I wanted to talk about, maybe not tonight. I'm talking about week 4. I got a question for Boston Connor. How's he going to feel? How's he going to feel when Tom Brady throws a 40-yard seam down the middle to Gronk, and he gets up and sings, "This is our house"?
Devin, maybe a better question like 3 weeks from now. Let's go to Anthony in Canada. Anthony, what's going on, pal? We appreciate the call. Just bring it back, run it back. We'll forget about it. We'll appreciate it more then. What do you want to talk about, Anthony?
Hey, Pat and everyone. Just want to give a big shout out to you guys. Your show is awesome. Love it. Gumpy, special shout out. Always want him to remember that football found its way home to Rome, Forza Italia. Also, big fan of the Kansas City Chiefs. So super pumped.
Hold on.
This is a Canadian.
What's that about?
Yeah, what is it? Are you Italian? Yeah, Anthony, obviously. Yes.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. He's yeah.
Tony.
Hey.
Still hyped about it. Sorry, Gump.
We appreciate you, Anthony.
It's the first day of football.
Hey, listen, it's first day of football. I don't want to have to do this, but United States beat Honduras last night in pretty epic fashion. Let's go! I had to watch it on Telemundo TV, so it wasn't in English. It was in Spanish, and I felt the energy through. I didn't know what the fuck they were saying, but I felt the energy. I didn't get it. I didn't know it was on. I didn't know it was happening until the internet told me that the coach should be fired and the team stinks and we're not going to be in the World Cup. And I was like, wait a minute, this is not good for me or for our show.
No.
And I guess at halftime we were down 1-0, and then because they were playing a different style or something, a new formation or whatever, second half just fucking steamroll. Pepe's guy, huh? We got Pepe's guy.
We got him
We got
all.
a guy. You guys are done for up there in Canada. Say hello to your little friend, America, the greatest soccer team on earth, pal.
Canadian lads are buzzing. This might be the best team we've ever had.
I can't believe we tied you guys. We're World Cup champs. You guys are just Canada, dude.
Dude, was the goal call amazing?
Yeah, it was very loud. It was late though, and the wife was already sleeping. Yeah, so it was to be honest, it was kind of startling. It was like the fire alarm.
Oh, yeah.
Because I knew it was coming because I'd heard it on the internet before, but I didn't. Oh shit, we're in the middle of this right now. You know, it was electrifying. Now that soccer team looks like they're 12 years old for us.
Yeah,
They are
it's a
young.
young team.
They're like 12 years old.
Fresh
actually.
legs.
Yeah, we are.
It's even better.
Hey, it's coming home for the foreseeable future.
That's right.
Just like Tom Brady could win 7 more Super Bowls down there in Tampa Bay and be remembered for that forever. What if he just never loses a game again, by the way?
possible.
But what if New England would not even be a thought anymore?
Tom Brady played for the Patriots?
That'd be a shame. It's like what happened with Peyton in Denver.
Yeah, except you only won 1 Super Bowl with the Colts, which is a massive fuck up by them. But I'll leave that as this.
I mean, Jim Irsay would argue that as well. He came out whenever Andrew Luck was drafted and said, multiple championships. That's why we are here to win multiple championships. And then he would get into an interview like 15, 20 minutes. He would drop something about how should have won more.
Yep.
We are going to win more with Andrew. Like I think he even knows it at this point. I think everybody does too.
Oh, yeah.
There's just a couple decisions that could have been made that maybe would have helped out that offense a little bit, full team a little bit. But the way Bill Polian constructed his roster made them very good. But if anything happened to anybody, it was almost like, oh no, what are we going to do there?
Yeah, game over. Which was, hey, all the power to the Colts. Constructed a great roster, but you only win 1 championship. Who gives a shit?
Hey, I'll say this about the Colts, by the way. They put out a hype video today, and we got to see a lot of behind-the-scenes footage and clips and stuff like that. That feels like a team that is very much together. We talk about, I talk about a lot. Like, I feel like if a team likes each other, that is the biggest X factor to a team going or not. I think we saw it with Green Bay last year. They were celebrating more than ever. The Kansas City Chiefs, they seem to party together, and they're on Twitter together all the time. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they got full work. Tom was holding full workouts down there. I think if you can tell if a team likes each other, they're going to be much better than obviously the teams that don't like each other. Now, it's much easier to not like each other when there isn't success, by the way, because it's a much more miserable situation. But it feels like the Colts are like a Dahn home, all-in football team over there.
Well, and I think you have to be very enthused about, like, if Carson Wentz wasn't ready to go, he wouldn't be playing week 1. So I think we can safely assume that, like, his foot is fine. Like, it might be a little bit painful, but I think he is ready and rearing to go for the entire season.
And what time's their practice today?
1:30, I think.
1:45, 1:35 or something like that. All eyes are on the big fellow on the offensive line.
That's right.
Because I turned completely against Dallas and said make it whatever when Zach Martin was not going to be playing.
Yep.
When Marshall Yonda left Baltimore. Now, they did figure it out. Got a playoff win last year. That's awesome. But early, it was obviously something that was missing. A great offensive lineman is hard to replace. That is just something that is very difficult to do. Never gets talked about. Quentin Nelson gets talked about a lot because he might be the fucking greatest guard in the history of football when it's all said and done. He started out that way. Zach Martin, best football player on there. It is hard to lose a guy on the offensive line. The game forever will be won in the trenches, even if it becomes a complete pass-happy league, because guess what? To get those passes, you have to be able to protect. And if you have an absolute stallion on the offensive line, and because of how tight offensive lines are, by the way, and the camaraderie, and they're the tightest group on every team, once you lose one of them, especially if it's the leader or the big dog on there, that it might be problematic. So all eyes are on Quentin Nelson in Indianapolis now. Carson Wentz is back.
Sounds like you're pretty nervous to wear the Mac Jones jersey on Monday. From what it just came out of your mouth.
Listen, I ain't going to have to wear a stupid jersey. What were you going to say, Tom?
I was just going to say I'm in a very similar situation right now with Bakhtiari. Like, I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about what they've done, but same deal. I mean, he's one of, if not the best left tackle in football, and they don't have him for the first 6 weeks. So it is kind of like a cause of first concern.
Those big guys, they sweat a lot, they eat a lot, they do a lot, they fight a lot, they're miserable a lot. They don't get talked about ever. So vital to the success, and it's just kind of like an understood thing. Like, oh yeah, the offensive line stinks. They're going to stink.
Yeah.
Oh, the offensive line's good. Okay, let's talk about everybody else. We're back in hour 2 with AJ Hawk. Quentin Nelson, fucking A play, pal.
Good morning, Pat. In honor of Big Bad Brad Johnson.
Loop-de-loop. Shillelagh giving the slap. Did you hear everything that was being said whenever you were potentially...
Just from you.
Oh, so you did hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's address it.
Hold on.
All right.
You can be a hater.
No.
And you can change.
Carson.
You can change. We can change.
No, at the moment I was at, okay, Carson. You know, with the Daily Show, the live Daily Show, you know, we can potentially get referred to as prisoners of the moment. You probably did hear me say some things. That was at a much different time.
Backtrack a little.
No,
it's cool. We're here face to face. You can change. People change, all right?
By the way, you are much bigger than I thought you were.
Oh, yeah.
When Jalen gets drafted there, was that the beginning of it all? Was there a miscommunication? What happened between you and Doug? Because they were saying it was fractured beyond repair.
Yeah.
What happened there? Is all of that accurate? Is that all kind of getting blown out of proportion?
Yeah.
And where did it start?
For one, I don't like to ever come out and say reporters aren't telling the truth because I don't. But
Orlovsky does it.
I'm not. I'm not going to dispute every report that's out there. You know, the way the season went obviously wasn't ideal. When Jalen was drafted, that had no bearing on me. I trusted the organization. Okay. I signed that contract. You know, I was devoted to them, and I felt like they were devoted to me. So I trusted the pick. You know, that had no bearing on my confidence or my abilities. You know, the season unfolded not how I would have liked it. Personally, I could have played better. We lost a lot of games at the end and just didn't fall into place the way we wanted. But there's a lot to learn from it, you know, as a man, as a player, and all those things. And, you know, I have still a lot of respect for Coach Peterson, and I think without a doubt those reports are very exaggerated. Like I said, I don't hear a lot of them. They come to my attention from my agents or different things.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of respect for him, and it was unfortunate for everybody and how the whole thing kind of just went down.
There was a couple still shots that made its way around where you and Doug Peterson appeared to be giving each other a nasty look.
Yeah, I saw those.
It's not true.
Not true at all.
Oh, you were not saying I wish you'd die.
I don't even think I was looking at him in those shots. So I did see that. I'm like, of course they're gonna play this one up. They're gonna make a story out of anything. That's how it is. So, but yeah, that's not true at all.
Okay, so I'm happy to hear you weren't giving Doug Peterson death looks. Like you never thought like, oh, football isn't for me. Like there was never a thought where I don't like football anymore. Or I don't want to be in this bullshit league anymore with this business. There was never a thought like that.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. The way the season went, I mean, it was frustrating. And
People
so
have those
that's why I stepped away, and it almost rejuvenated me. You know, it's almost like last year pissed me off so much. I want to come back in a different way and do everything I can. I am thrilled to be here and to have this new start, new opportunity. And the community seems amazing. The fan base seems amazing. Like we said, it seems like the perfect fit.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. Hour 2 on this beautiful NFL 2021 regular season kickoff. September 9th, 2021 begins right now. Yeah! Shots to Dahn for that beat drop. Hour 2, we'll see Ian Rappaport joining us in about 20 minutes. We'll answer some of your phone calls, 1-833-4-McAfee. And joining us from Manatee, a man who once started an NFL season at the bottom of the mountain and found his way at the mountaintop as a Super Bowl champion. 31 teams lose every single year. One year, this man found himself as the one team that beat everybody else. Also, college football national champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest jawline in sports, AJ Hawk. Yeah! What's up, dude? Happy fucking NFL regular season kickoff day, dude.
That's right, man. Say it right. Happy Thursday Night Football Thursday. That's what this is.
This isn't Thursday Night Football Thursday, okay? This is NFL regular season kickoff Thursday, dude.
Boom. Okay, well, I'm still sticking with the original, but hey, we can still brainstorm. We're still throwing them out there.
Okay, well, I think we've already decided. All right, welcome to the show. Hour 2, we've already decided this is NFL regular season kickoff Thursday.
Yep.
We will have another brainstorm session before next Thursday. I'm so excited for this, AJ Hawk. We don't even have to act like we care about the dramatic bullshit stories that surround every team for 5, 6, 7 months. Now we get a chance to talk about actual football, AJ. It's a great day to be alive, pal.
I think there's a lot of people all around America and all around the world that feel the exact same that you do. Like, hey, this is it. We have finally made it. It's been a long offseason, a long haul, and here we go.
Exact same way that I do. You don't feel that way? That isn't a we thing? This is a big time you.
Oh, no, it's we. I'm absolutely part of that. Yeah, I'm pumped to watch the game. Not only does football start tonight, it's a very intriguing game. I really want to see how it plays out.
Is any one of these teams going to be in your projection for what our Super Bowl winners or our Super Bowl participants are going to be? Because that has to happen today, AJ.
It's possible that they are, but there's also a good chance that neither of these teams are in my.
You remember yesterday you got real deep thinking. You were like, why do we project or predict anything? Do you remember doing that on a show?
I mean, yeah, it was definitely not any kind of deep thinking. Just a disdain for prediction is all it was.
Yeah, but like we're a sports show.
But is that part of a sports show is to try to predict things and then. I don't know. Yeah, okay. I'm cool. I'm trying to come around to the idea of this.
He's been doing it a year and a half.
I know.
2 years.
Yeah, but I don't think people would look to me for a prediction of what's going to happen.
I would.
20 weeks from now.
Well, and I think the other reason why you feel that way is because you did give, like, one of your big first predictions was Dallas Cowboys in the Super Bowl last year. And it kind of...
Sorry, my bad. Sorry, starting QB gets hurt. Sorry, guys.
See, this is why you do predictions.
$400 million for a reason, because he's a stud. He goes down, of course the season kind of falls apart.
Hey, listen, I love Dak, by the way. After watching Hard Knocks, I love him even more. And they had that walkaway shot with Aiden Diggs, his dad,
Trayvon Diggs.
Trayvon Diggs. And then Dak, and they were walking away. Dak's calves might be this big.
Yeah.
They might be this large as he was walking away. I'm like, golly. And then I thought back, like, it wasn't that long ago where he had a cramp and that thing was going the opposite direction. It seems like he is all the way back. They paid him. His mentality is awesome. I love what the Dallas Cowboys are potentially going to be this season, just like I've loved what the Dallas Cowboys were going to potentially be for the last, bunch of seasons. I just think on this particular night, it did not matter what football team was showing up in Tampa Bay. When that pirate ship gets a rocking, don't come a knocking, because these cannons are firing and Tom Brady's entering his 22nd fucking year, 300th regular season start tonight. I just don't think anybody could stop that night.
I mean, that's at the same time, though, when you lay it all out like that, it makes me a bit weary of like, hey, everything is set up for them to just pile on and dominate the Cowboys. But what if all of that stuff surrounding the game, what if it gets to a couple of the young guys and they don't make the plays like they normally do?
Well, 22 returning starters for the Tampa Bay.
And Dallas, though, don't you think Dallas has got a big old chip on their shoulder? Like, they want to come out and they know that nobody's giving them a chance.
Their owner actually said this is David versus Goliath, and I think every team, that would potentially play against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year are going to be able to have that chip. Like, nobody thinks we're going to win this game. It even happened last year. I forget who said it. Maybe Tom said it. No, BA. I forget who said it. Somebody said it associated with the team that even before they were a good team last year, everybody was gunning for them. I forget who it was. They're basically like, as soon as that roster was assembled last year, it immediately was like, oh, there's the big dog. That's what we need. Even the Saints, they felt like, even Saints fans were even acting like, this is our game. This is the biggest game. And I think they were very open about, like, we weren't even a team then, especially with COVID, no preseason. Peyton Manning came on during the Super Bowl and was like, I have no idea how Tom's been able to do this. He's not allowed to be in meetings with anybody. He's not allowed to eat food with anybody. They're not allowed to do anything. This, just the entire offseason they had, building off of what last year was, Tom openly stating that the undefeated season is something he wants. I just feel like they're not going to miss a beat, but that's why the NFL season's special, because there's a chance they can come out and lay an egg, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, to your point in the first hour.
Wow.
This is veterans know that they have to come out and perform in a game like this, right? I just don't see there being any way that Brady comes out with all the stuff that's going on and lay an egg. I just can't see it.
I think so too. But some great teams have to be reminded that, hey, you ain't shit, And I think BA would be the perfect guy to do that. Did you see what Nick Saban said last night about his football team, AJ?
Oh, yeah. I watched the whole clip this morning.
I love it. I couldn't love it more. I was only able to find a blurry version. I think we found another version of this thing. Nick Saban addressing his team is probably how Bruce Arians felt, by the way, going into this offseason. Remember, Bruce Arians said, there's some guys that aren't here that they ain't going to make the fucking team, man. And they got all 22 starters back, by the way. And he's like, there's some people that aren't here. And he said, when they get back, because they don't want to be at our OTAs, they're doing their own OTAs, I'm going to kick their fucking ass, is what he actually said. And I've heard the camp is hard. But the great coaches, I think they have a good read on where their team is. If their team's too comfortable, let's hope BA is able to do that. I don't think that's ever going to happen in Alabama. And if you're watching this as any other college football fan base, including the cult that I got a chance to experience, OH.
Well, you already got one. What do you mean?
All right.
Come on.
Roll fucking Tide then. Go ahead and play. That's why you guys ain't ever going to win. Go ahead and play this thing from Saban, please.
Okay, I think several years ago, it was the 6th or 7th game of the year. We just beat Texas A&M, and people started talking about our team, and I had to bring everyone's attention to what I referred to as rat poison. All right, so now we basically played one half of one game.
Okay.
All right, we went ahead 27-0 in the game. And then it was basically 17-16 after that with 2 stops inside the 5-yard line. And, so we didn't maintain our intensity in the game. So we were affected by the scoreboard. So we haven't proven that we can play for 60 minutes. Then we come out on Monday and really not ready to practice. Awesome. I guess because of respect we have for the opponent. I don't really know all that. Or maybe it's what they read on social media or in the media or whatever after one half of a game this season. And, then it was hot yesterday. So, so we got every external factor in the world that is affecting our ability to maintain intensity and play the way we need to play and practice the way we need to practice to improve. We got the scoreboard affects us, who we're playing affects us, the heat affects us, the media and what you guys write every day affects us. So, to me, we got to prove that we can play and maintain intensity for 60 minutes in a game, execute, do our job, play hard, finish games, finish plays, do things the way we're supposed to do it. So, I'm really excited about being able to play at home.
I love that is a beautiful depiction of a man that's just absolutely miserable. The ability to point out all of those negatives is a gene, a trait, a thing that I think you need to keep people motivated if you're going to coach for 500 years and win all the time. That was gorgeous. Him saying, we won by 100, all right? They were never in that fucking game, all right? But this team ain't shit, and I'm fed up with everything about the way they're acting. I love it so much. I guess the internet said this is what he does against every time they have to play an FCS team or whatever, but I love that he kept a straight face through that entire thing, and I think he actually believes that. I believe that Nick Saban actually believes that, AJ.
Hey, when he mentioned, and it's hot on Tuesday, I was just thinking of him, all of his players nervously warming up every day, okay, here we go. Oh, Oklahoma drill the first hour and a half. Cool, okay.
Man, I feel like we played pretty good, but you're right. Yeah. I mean, it's 150 fucking degrees, but it is not hot. Okay, all right. I feel like our team's probably going to win by another 100, by the way, this weekend. Yeah, probably going to win by another. And you guys ain't fucking shit, Saban says to him. He basically told him, this team stinks. This is the most mentally soft team I've ever had in my entire life. And I assume that he is ringing that message after practice when he's calling. I assume they're 2 periods in, by the way, that Monday practice. And he's... Bring him up. We'll start this whole thing back over. I feel like he had a mission. He was like, if I see 1 ounce of let up from anybody in this fucking team, this thing is going back to the beginning. We experienced that with Rich Rodriguez, and I don't think I ever heard him say, hey, good team we have. I guess there is a payoff probably at some point. Saban puts that hat on. He celebrates, has a little bit of moment. Rich Rod said the only time we're going to celebrate and enjoy this thing is when we kick somebody's ass, and then we're going to move on, and then we're going to do it again. It was all right, I appreciate that was his style. Saban seems to be the same way. That accountability we need to maintain intensity is a great way to describe not finishing off a game, by the way.
Well, every coach is scared to death of complacency from their coaching staff, from their players, everyone involved. I'm sure Saban is not easy on the people working in the cafeteria, the janitors. I'm sure he makes sure everybody is on their toes, but it's got to be nice, too, that this is coming, this sounds like a guy that has only won, that only knows winning football over and over and over again. He's been doing it for so long. Yeah, this is the stuff that he has to deal with. I'm sure there's coaches that are trying to find a way to get a team to go 500 that are man, it must be nice. If I had to sit here and worry about my players feeling too good about themselves.
Let's be very clear. You cannot act like that if you don't have the resume. Okay, and this is the Bill Belichick coaching tree thing where guys leave the Patriots and they try to enforce Saban or Belichick's way of doing things. We're not happy, and then you lose 10, 11 games. It's hard to continue to do that and get people to buy in when you fucking stink. If you can do this and win, everybody's like, well, fuck it. This guy's won before. I'm going to do that. I think it's hard, though, for others that haven't accomplished it. People are going after other college coaches from my tweet. I tweeted that out last night, obviously. I forget who had the actual video. I think a guy named Gary or something. I appreciate Gary, but it was a press conference, so actually that's free right to use for everybody because it is a press conference naturally, but you fucking get it. And I wish the guy that ripped it I appreciate him ripping it, but a higher quality would have been nice too because I thought that it was my internet actually was the problem, and it was a full thing. But I just love the fact though that immediately after watching that, everybody from their college fan base goes, hey, why didn't my fucking coach act like this? Why I need my coach to act like this? It's well, you got to have 7 national titles or something like that. I forget how many he has. Yeah. I think it's 7. You got to have 7 national titles to be able to get to that degree of I'm fucking mad at everything at all times because everybody will buy in and believe that thing. It was very cool to see that because I felt like he has got to a point where he believes that team is a bad team that he has. And I love that. And I wish he would enjoy it more, but the fact that he doesn't is the reason why they're good. So that's why I don't think I could be a coach, by the way, because we win. Hey, we should celebrate. Wins are not easy, okay? Yeah. We should enjoy this. You want off Monday? I agree. Fuck, I'll see you on Wednesday, all right? And let's remember how good this feels so we do it again. this is the same type of thing that BA is going to have to do, by the way.
Yeah.
You know,
BA started it. BA started it in the offseason. Remember him telling him how he's going to, like, what camp is going to be like. He's not going to let anybody sit back and just ride on what they did the year before. But going back to Saban quick, don't you think if you were a beat writer covering Alabama, you could really develop a good relationship with Saban if you just killed the team every day? Don't kill Saban, but kill the team and just talk about like players playing bad. Like because then he would probably put that up in the meeting room. He would show them, yeah, this guy knows what's up. You guys can talk to this team.
Hey, all those other media guys, they don't know shit. They're telling you you're good. Look at what this guy's saying. This guy, 30 years. How long's he been writing? 30 years. He said you guys fucking stink in the fourth quarter.
He's seen all of them, and he names all the great players that have come in the past. That Saban annihilated them when they were sitting in that meeting room too, and showed them players that he had before. Like that's what coaches do. Like I think that'd be an interesting play by somebody if they want to get in on it.
What a pretzel Saban's potentially in because he has to stick up for his team too. You know.
Yeah.
And he hates the media, right? He clearly hates the media. So if the media jumps on his side there, we're actually wondering why your team wasn't prepared. Do you think you're losing it as a coach? You know, and like what if he goes, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
What if, you know what I mean? That would be amazing. I think everybody though saw exactly why. You know, they got 5-star players at every position, four levels deep.
Exactly.
Literally 4 levels deep. So I think Saban genuinely believes, and I think a lot of people who probably coach elsewhere believe with the amount of recruits that they get. You got to remember, like 2 good recruits can turn around a program.
Oh yeah.
You know, like I always harp on this because I actually lived it. Pat and Steve showed up in West Virginia, and they were the 2 fastest people on the field. Every time we got on the field, the entire program changed. We had a great offensive line, obviously, but that offensive line would not have had the success it had if it wasn't for Pat and Steve. And Pat only came because I think LSU offered him to be a corner or wide receiver, and Steve Slayton got his scholarship pulled from Maryland like a week before signing day or something like that. So he ended up at West Virginia. It's like 2 of those 5-star type guys can turn around an entire program, let alone if you have 80 of them.
Yes.
And I think that is why Saban is potentially pissed because he knows, like, hey, even in the fourth quarter when we got our 5th stringers in, we should be beating the shit out of everybody here. Like, that is actually how he feels. I appreciate that, but at some point you got to enjoy your life too. You know what I mean? At some point you got to enjoy your fucking life. I hope Saban gets, hey, you know when I have a good time? When we kick somebody's fucking ass.
Hell yeah.
That's a direct quote from Rich Rodriguez, and I assume Saban's just the same exact way.
Well, and that's why when like you guys mentioned the players in 150-degree heat doing Oklahoma drills, like they know, hey, the guy behind me is a first-round pick too, so I have to come out here and perform, or else Saban will put in 22 new starters and we'll still win by 50.
What if he benched Bryce Young from week 1 to week 2? Bryce Young just had the biggest start in Alabama football history. He's got a podcast now on the Volume Network, I think. Listen, I understand it's a good idea. He can't say anything on that podcast. He's quarterback for Alabama. He's got Saban looking at him and NFL scouts looking at him. He's not going to be able to say anything. I like that he's doing a podcast, but it's like, what if Saban doing a podcast, huh? Who's that fucking 5? Oh, Mac Jones is right behind you. There's another Mac Jones right behind you. It's like he has that ability because of what he's created with that machine over there. I just hope he gets to enjoy it sometime. Go ahead.
Well, that's the only way they get better too, right? I mean, like, because it'd be tough not to, like, you know, everyone's
complacent.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's talking about they do this every single year. They have these big marquee games, and it's like, well, I don't know, this team they're playing's tough, they're ranked, whatever, and they go out and beat the piss out of them, and it just happens over and over again. Like, if you don't coach these guys this way, they probably aren't ever going to get any better.
And by the way, this is when you're shaping people too. 18 years, 19 years of age, or you have to coach. You know, the thought of Saban watching that Clemson Georgia game, going, these teams fucking stink. My team isn't going to be scared of anything. Yeah. And then they're watching that Florida State. These fucking teams are terrible. Oh, my guys are going to think they're so good. They see these shitty ass teams, and we just won by 100. I'm going to have to fucking lay into them. Team meeting tomorrow morning, 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Sunday morning, I need everybody in the goddamn building. He's watching everybody else like, oh, Bryce Young's watching this like, this team stinks. There's nobody else that can even keep up with us. He probably showed Ohio State highlights in the fourth quarter. You probably fell asleep before this happened. Yeah. These teams are out here still. You know, like anything you can do to motivate a group that is clearly head and shoulders above everybody else. That's why Saban's been great. But remember, that thing was not always like that. He had to build that to get to this point. Nothing but respect for that man. Joining us now is a guy who was a host of a show that got canceled.
Oh no!
Shit. It was
again.
No, it was. because there might be new listeners. It's football season, obviously, today, regular season kicking off. I just want everybody to know that it was not because of his lack of talent or Friends that Rap Sheet and Friends got canceled. It was a decision that was made by the higher-ups that we still to this day believe is absolute bullshit.
Absolutely.
That's no bull, my friend.
No bull.
That's no bull at all when I say that. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, senior insider for NFL.com and NFL Network with a off-season wrap-up with Rap Sheet and Friends. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport.
What's up?
What up, dude? Congratulations. We made it, man. Football.
Yeah.
I woke up today in a good mood. Had to fire off the I'm ready for football season tweet, the old we made it, which I feel like me and everyone else did, but I wanted to because we did make it. We beat COVID. It's football season, and let's go.
Hey.
I mean, it's right.
Let's go, dude. We beat the monotony of caring about other sports.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You beat the monotony of being like a good golfer some days and terrible most other days. I mean, we beat acting like we were interested in all the shit we were doing on Thursdays and Sundays. We have beat all that, especially in the time that we're at where people seem to be sucking happiness out of every aspect of life. We did it. It is a great day, Ian Rappaport. And I know you have said in the past that you're scared to act like a human on Twitter because a lot of people have your notifications on. So if you were to say like, oh, I like oatmeal cookies, like people would be like, hey, Rappaport, we don't need that. So I like that you look like a human this morning. Hey, you're one of us, dude. You're a fucking human. Good for you, Ian. That's awesome.
Yeah, all the things that still some frustration, all the things I don't say, like all the really like irreverent, hilarious observations that I have that I don't share.
All right, those don't exist. Let's get to the game tonight. All right, let's get to what you find. Hey, we don't need any of that shit. All right, we need you to do.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay, let's Hey, was there ever a chance Zach Martin was going to do this thing, or was Jerry Jones just selling a promotion on First Take that hey, I just need 2 negatives? Was there ever a thought he was going to play in this game?
I think there was a little bit of a thought, like, say, on Monday, because if he had been, like, if he started to be symptom-free on Monday, then he would have had a shot to play because he could have gotten a test, say, like, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning. If he's clear, then he would have been able to play. I never heard that he got to the point of taking a first test, so I'm not sure he was symptom-free at all. So maybe when Jerry Jones spoke, it was theoretically a possibility, but I didn't talk to anyone. Not that Jerry Jones is not with the team, but I didn't talk to anyone with the team on the football side who actually thought he had a chance of playing. And, like, it's a guard, and I don't want to overstate it, but, like, he is one of the best in football and awesome. So it's a pretty significant loss for the Cowboys. It really is.
I'd say. Jesus.
Ian, what about Dak Prescott? What are you hearing from anybody around Dallas? Like, how confident are they in his ankle that was repaired, the shoulder lat injury? Like, I guess, how good do they feel about him heading into the night?
I would say they feel really, really good. Now, we'll go to the ankle first. So in April and May, Dak was going out there throwing like 40 passes to receivers. It was a little early, but he was that far ahead in his rehab, that confident in his ankle that he could go out and throw not fully normal, but almost normal. And I think there was a lot of checkpoints along the way that the Cowboys were like, all right, this guy is going to be 100% fully back. But when he was out there, you know, throwing passes to his guys in like May, I think at that point, honestly, they kind of stopped worrying about it. Like, I didn't get the sense in camp that it was an issue at all. We brought it up because that's what we do. But I don't get the sense. Like, he tested it. He did everything for it. I think the ankle is fine. The arm is also good now. Like, there were definitely some moments in camp that nobody thought it was major, but it's definitely something that can go from really small to nagging and horribly annoying really quick. So they were like overly cautious to make sure that he got to this point now where he's fine. And I think he's fine, and I think they're going to be really good.
Is there any conversation about Aiden Diggs dropping 5-6 balls from Dak and maybe Dak can't throw a catchable ball anymore post-surgery?
I have not heard any chatter to such, not at all. Sorry.
I mean, the resiliency of Aiden, by the way, he did score a touchdown. He got back onto that horse. He did not get deterred. But as I was seeing, I was like, maybe it's not that good of a catchable ball at this point. Another offensive guard that you took a massive shot at earlier, and just like you did with Vrabel, I don't know why you walk into these things. That's just what you... Remember what he said about Kyle Long? What's your deal with guards? What's your deal with guards?
No, I love guards. I mean, I've always been a proponent of guards. I'm a huge fan. I would say guards over centers. Well, probably guards.
Centers would pick you up and break you in half as well. You know that
a lot
all
of
these
people would pick me up and break.
Let's talk about Quentin Nelson. Okay, their practice starts in 10 minutes for the Indianapolis Colts. Carson Wentz is all the way back. Quentin Nelson, I don't think he participated yesterday, but they're saying like, hey, he is doing everything he possibly can to be back. He's also, I mean, him and Zach, top 2 guards in football, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Is he back, you think? What are you hearing out of the Colts? Anything?
I don't think that was a foot yesterday. I think that was a sort of like back spasm thing that's pretty minor yesterday. So I don't think he... Okay. Yeah, so he needs a little, one of those things. Needs to Theragun himself or Hyper Ice or whatever our therapeutic tool of choice is. So I think he is incredibly tough, as you know. If he could possibly be out there, I think he is going to be out there. They are still optimistic that both those guys would make it, which is so crazy. Because, I know you track that really closely. I also have tracked it really closely. When those guys had surgery, me or you much closer?
Us.
I don't know about that. Anyway.
Bet.
Betting is illegal.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
For me, it's illegal.
What are you
going
going
to bet?
Why aren't you allowed to bet? The NFL's all in on bets. It's every other commercial.
It's on the ticker on your network.
I am not allowed to bet.
Why?
Because, I don't know, because of what I do.
Because he works for the NFL, technically, right?
I work for the NFL, yeah.
You don't think Jerry Jones is putting in some fucking bets as soon as mobile sports betting is allowed in Texas, which is on its way, by the way, which is huge. That's huge for our particular company and also the world.
That's right.
As a whole.
Yeah, also the world.
Yeah,
but it really is literally amazing that Carson Wentz is going to get. I know this was about Quentin Nelson, but the fact that Carson Wentz is going to be out there looking like a pretty mobile quarterback is incredible. And
Ian, do we know how much pain he's in? Ian, sorry to cut you off. Do we know how much pain he's in? I know Doug Peterson said, hey, this is something that you can play through the pain. It's not going to hurt it any worse. Do you have any idea where he is?
I was told not quite 100%, which makes me think there's some pain and discomfort. I just don't think that it's something that he's going to sort of let it. I think he'll be okay with it. But no one has said to me, he's good, he doesn't have to worry about it, he's back to normal. I don't think he's there yet. So I would imagine there's probably a little bit of pain and discomfort.
What the fuck did Doug Peterson say? And who cares what Doug Peterson said about Quentin Nelson?
Well, not Doug Peterson. Whoever. Frank Reich.
Oh,
gee. Yeah, I didn't even know I threw Doug Peterson in there. Yeah.
Well, it's all right. They were hanging out together.
We were on the same wavelength, so I knew he meant Frank Reich.
Okay, I respect it. I also knew that he meant Frank Reich, but the reason why I said I covered it much closer than you is because Frank Reich actually came on our show the day it happened. Yeah. So that's what I'm just saying, you tell me. I mean, I don't know if he came on Rap Sheet and Friends. Let's continue to run around the NFL. You don't have enough time to do Rap Sheet and Friends, by the way. You got to break news everywhere. You don't have time to host a show. Let us just do that.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, Godwin was hurt 2 days ago. He's back full participation. Nothing to think about there. Nothing to worry about there at all.
Nah, nothing to worry about. It was
Saquon?
Really just Saquon practiced yesterday, came out of it clean. Going to practice today. If he practices today and is fine, which he's probably going to be, I think you'll get the full clearance tomorrow. Another one where, if you had asked me 2 months ago, I'd say, going to be really close for him actually being ready week 1. But he seems like he's in a good place. I don't know that he's going to be Saquon like always. It might take a minute for him to get back to normal. But he's going to make week 1, and that is Evan Ingham, probably not. But Saquon probably will.
Okay, and last one here before the boys have some questions. I think AJ does as well. We appreciate your knowledge, Ian. Austin Eckler, that kind of came out of nowhere, didn't it? I mean, I feel like that once his pictures started showing up on my timeline, I was like, whoa, this guy's in super good shape, right? He's incredible shape. Is he going to be okay? What's going on with him?
I think he's going to be okay. The injury was described to me as precautionary, the absence was described as precautionary. So I don't want to, it's a hamstring, so I don't want to just be it's nothing because I've seen it go the other way. No one has told me it's concerning, so I think he's going to end up okay. I will also say this, and not that it is all about me, but this is a little bit about me. The amount of text messages I get when there's a big fantasy injury, I was not ready for it yesterday. My phone literally blew up with everyone. I guess everyone in the world has Eckler on the fantasy team. So.
Oh, really? I did not know that. We're diving into the fantasy tonight. There's a free entry into FanDuel's daily fantasy contest with $1 million in the top prize, $4 million in total prizes, available for everybody in the United States above the age of 18. Fucking get in there and do your thing, because everybody seems to be the smartest fantasy person on earth. If you ask them if they're in fantasy, they're the smartest person in earth in fantasy. Our authority on fantasy, ladies and gentlemen, are the Cowboys. with 10 dates.
Right before you came in, I saw a tweet that the Chiefs may be planning to be without Tyrann Mathieu on Sunday. Is that because of COVID protocols?
Yeah, it's because of COVID protocols. He hasn't cleared yet, and it's Thursday and hasn't practiced. And it's weird because we did this all last year too. There's no estimation. It's like he hasn't passed yet, so he hasn't passed yet, and there's no like, is he feeling better? Like he just hasn't cleared yet, and the fact that it's Thursday and he hasn't, I would say puts his status in doubt. What I don't know is could they play him if he doesn't practice? He is a great special player. I mean, one of the best, but practice is also important. So, yeah, Chiefs could go in without, one of their best players regardless of position, and that'd be pretty significant.
Quick thing, Jarvis Landry touchdown potentially if Tyrann Mathieu's not going to be in. All right, so go ahead, AJ.
Oh, there you go. What about the Jets? What about Zach Wilson? I feel like even though people are juiced on him, I think he's going to be great. They're still kind of under the radar. Can they make some noise?
I think they could. It is a really, really good, young, dynamic coaching staff. And it's a team that, it's weird because usually when you get like a first-year coach like Robert Saleh, he's got his whole coaching staff. Usually you spend a year getting rid of everyone, and it takes a year for them to kind of get going. They kind of did that last year.
Yeah.
So to me, they're like in a better position to hit the ground running and actually be decent than most first-year coaches who inherit horrible situations. So, like, to me, if they win 7 games, they go 7-10, which is weird to say still, but if they go 7-10 and Zach shows that he's the guy, it'll be a massively successful season. Like, I don't know that they're ready to make the playoffs, but they got enough playmakers where they'll upset a couple teams, they'll look pretty good, and then next year they'll be kind of like that team on the rise.
Joe Douglas allegedly can build a culture, a team, everything like that. And last year, you're right, a lot of turnover there. Zach Wilson seems to be fucking unbelievable, too, in preseason. Who knows how he's going to be in the regular season. They're still the Jets, and I think we should treat them as such. But I want to go back to something you said there. You work for the NFL. You're not allowed to gamble, but you talk shit on their decision to have 17 games?
Huh.
Wow.
No.
Yeah. 17. Sounds weird.
Sounds stupid.
It's like throwing it up out of my mouth.
Jeez.
What's that all about? Do you don't like Roger Goodell?
It's the biggest season ever.
Ian, question. 2 years, 3 years, 18 games.
I don't think we're there yet. Let's get through 17 games first, and then I think we'll be okay. I will say this, like, when it's February, I don't know, when's the Super Bowl? February 12th or something like that, and there's still football to be watching, I'll be very happy.
Yeah.
So let's go 17 games.
Me too. Hey, and by the way, I'm not playing anymore. And not that it ever really affected me, but watching some of my teammates try to get to the finish line of a season and then literally going into a playoffs like, yeah, just give me whatever to get through this thing and then like just get through the game. That extra game is going to mean something, like probably to offensive guards that you don't give a single shit about.
Wow.
Go ahead, Ty. That's unbelievable. Yeah, you, Ian. A lot of shots fired at Roger Goodell. He just
won.
Offensive guards and centers.
Yep.
I mean, so there's 32 of them at least at each position, 2 guards, so that's 64 starters, centers, 32. You do quick math, that's 96 people he pissed off. That's just the starters.
Hold on. I got the tackles on my side. So 2 tackles per team. 2 tackles per team.
No, the offensive line runs they run in packs, pal.
Hate you.
Yeah, they hate you. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Go ahead.
Sorry, dude. Ian, Devontae Adams, a report came out that said, there's no way that he's getting an extension done before the season. Is that surprising at all, or is that something that we should have expected, especially with the uncertainty with Rodgers and the fact that he wanted a certain amount of money and it doesn't seem like the Packers are ever going to meet that? Is this his last year in Green Bay, you think?
I would say it came off yesterday as kind of like some big news, but it probably shouldn't have been, because when talks really broke down, I think it was right before training camp. I think it was like 2 days or so before training camp. That was it. Like, they reached a point where talks weren't going to continue. Devontae Adams and his people were not happy. The Packers were not in a good position. Talks just stopped, and it just never picked back up because there's no common ground to work from. Like, he wants to be the highest paid receiver in the NFL. That would be DeAndre Hopkins. The Packers are not there yet, so they just went like this. And I couldn't say if it's his last season in Green Bay, though, because the Packers have the franchise tag. It's a lot. I think it's like 20 next year. But he's a very, very, very good player, so he might be worth it. So I think we could be preparing for like a last dance, but they could always tag him and go, yeah, no.
All Devontae, like in the back of his mind, yeah, I have a chance to make the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I've had an incredible run. I'm finally getting my flowers and respect. But who's going to be the quarterback throwing me the ball, right? I mean, that is something that any wide receiver, especially somebody who's very accomplished, although they're going to get money, that is, I think, becoming a much more prevalent conversation with people, especially as these salary caps are being played with and teams are kind of coming together. Hopefully for the Packers, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams are there forever. Packers for life.
Hell yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
but-
Gunther Kuhn seems like he's guys going to get that done too.
he
Go ahead,
sure
Connor.
does.
Go ahead, Boston.
No
College.
chance. Rap sheet, Jamar Chase came out and said the NFL ball is a little harder to catch than the NCAA ball. We saw him struggle a little early, but has he come on as of late, or is he still having some problems with the playbook and such?
I think it's more just, I don't know about the playbook. I think it's more just honestly catching the ball. And he's not wrong, by the way. The NFL ball is a little slicker. I just have not heard a receiver come out and say, like, I've not heard anyone come out and say it like that. Now, he is a great talent, so my sense is he's going to be fine, and I'll probably be talking to Bengals people later in the week to kind of hone in on this a little bit, because it is interesting. Like, I can't remember a situation where a top pick had a preseason like this. Like, again, I think he's going to be fine, but it's alarming or noteworthy or somewhere in between. Like, he was supposed to be a very sure thing after the preseason he had, and I didn't get the sense it got any better late. So a lot of eyes are going to be on him in game one. I will say that. A lot of eyes.
You got a jugs machine over there?
We don't have a jugs machine, but we got a bounce back, so I could just fire it into the bounce back. And
Is that's what the baseball?
Yeah,
in
lacrosse.
In lacrosse, you do that? You saying, the NFL football is much more difficult to catch than college ball was one of my favorite things you have ever said, by the way. I just want to let you know. The
To be
authority
fair,
on catching footballs.
I have so many balls. Wilson sends me a new ball which I love Wilson. Good job, guys.
Hey, shout out
Sends me a
Wilson,
new
by the way.
ball
Shout out Wilson.
every time.
Wilson!
That was one. Come on. Here we go.
Oh, he's in
So I
shorts.
got this for my backdrop.
Ooh.
Wow.
That does
Yeah,
look slick.
You need to scuff it up.
Yeah, that
It
ball would
is-
never see the field. Got to scuff
I
that
need to
thing
put it
up.
in the dryer or something. Are you allowed to put it in the dryer still?
So actually, that's Mitch Berger allegedly did that, right? Because abuse led to restrictions. So the K balls were their own separate balls for a long time, and guys were able to do whatever they wanted to them. And I think the story goes, I don't think I've ever actually looked into it. You could probably find out this much quicker than me. Mitch Berger did have it in the sauna, then in the dryer, then in the sauna, then in the dryer, and that thing became an Aussie rules football basically. And somehow that ball got put in, and Brett Favre ended up throwing a pick because he was throwing like a watermelon basically. And then then the K ball rule came in the next year, because if it wasn't Brett Favre, it was another big quarterback, was like, I don't know what that was not a football that I threw. And then the K ball rule came into effect where it had to be brand new balls for every kicker, and then now there's 30 minutes you're allowed to work with them, and that became an entire thing. What I'm saying is, I mean, I like that you are the authority on what ball is better to catch and what isn't. I absolutely love it. For me, actually, my hand size, NFL ball was much easier for me to catch than a college ball.
Really?
Yeah, but sometimes the college balls are a little bit.
Why is that?
I just think like the size was just like, and also I think I hit the jugs machine a lot more in the NFL than I did in college, so it just became something where I was just like catching balls every single time. But like, I just think the sizing was right for me. College balls, though, there's not as many rules on the deflation or the inflation of the ball. I'm not saying Joe Burrow was a guy that maybe liked it a little bit lighter or whatever, but I think college balls have a much more likely chance of because there's been a couple of times where I went out onto a field in college football and I felt the ball and I was like, oh, this is the worst ball to kick in the history of the world. Pat, I hope you can throw the shit out of this thing. Like, I'm really happy for you. Ian, we can't thank you enough for joining us, dude. You're the best, man. Happy football season, dude.
Happy football season to you guys, too. Enjoy watching tonight. I'll talk to you next week.
What are you going to do, work all day?
I'm going to work until 6, and then I'm just going to watch football, and it's going to be awesome.
Hell yeah.
What is NFL Network doing all-day kickoff celebration? Ed Sheeran?
Yep.
You got an interview with Ed Sheeran or anything?
I got no Ed Sheeran action. I will be watching. I think our programming ends at 7:30 or something like that, and then after that, it's just sit in my basement with many TVs and watch football.
Hey, before we chat with you next week, will you try to get a piece of information for us or no?
There'll be some news this week. Some things will happen on Sunday. I will have some info for you.
I want to know about how many shirts, $50 shirts Ed Sheeran sold.
Oh, yeah.
Does he sell $50 shirts?
I think the NFL sells.
Are they is there like gold in there?
Well, I think just because it exists, it is gold for some people. I saw the NFL start promoting this, and just as somebody who, potentially crashed Shopify today.
Yeah, no big deal. Huh.
Fucking get it together, Shopify. We never do these.
Come
Okay,
on.
we never do sales, ever. We never do sales, ever. 20% off to celebrate the NFL. Coming back today, Shopify crashes, obviously.
Of course.
Must have been a coincidence. Obviously, must have been a coincidence. Between that, the fire alarm, everything else that's going on, COVID. I mean, what is... I will survive. I will survive. Hey! Happy season to you, pal. We appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. Ian Rappaport. All right, we have to get to a break. AJ, that's real. By the way, I found out during the break there before we came back live for hour 2. So convenient. Shopify just crashes.
Ridiculous.
It's great.
Crash the server, right?
Yeah, it's not the first time.
Won't be the last.
Hopefully, but it's not necessarily great, because we never do this. We never say, hey, we have enough trust and faith in the store operating and fulfilling these orders that we are going to promote it. Okay, we're going to give 20% off everything. We know that there is potential backlash coming from the punctuality of the deliveries afterwards.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, but now Bruce, CFO Phil, the boys are like, hey, we are confident in the store. We are revamping the store. Let's go ahead and do this thing. So to be honest, I had to be talked into this because I'm like, I appreciate people buying our shit, but also we're okay without really promoting it. Our business has been done okay. People seem to have stuff. And I don't have to deal with people tweeting me hate messages for spending money on our store and not getting their stuff in the punctuality.
Right. Makes sense.
And everybody's like, no, it's good. Turns out Shopify can't even fucking do their job.
And from the tweets I have seen, the fulfillment of it, people are getting like the shipping right away, and it's like some guy said, "Hey, much quicker than when I tried to do this a couple weeks ago." So I think we're off to a pretty good start.
CFO Phil and Bruce out there doing the code, and we appreciate them. We're back in 4 minutes, taking your calls to wrap up hour 2. Big thanks to Ian Rappaport and AJ Hawk for obviously joining us, and all of you. We'll see you in 4. Smarter than you, I'm better than you.
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm a better person than you are.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I fed the birds this morning, so I'm a better person than you are.
Yeah, but you don't care about the ozone as much as I do. So do you even like to breathe? That means you don't even like the birds. You don't want the birds to be able to breathe or fly because you want the ozone to be ruined because you're a fucking asshole.
Is that right? Then how come I rollerblade to the supermarket every Saturday and Sunday?
Oh, did that make you feel good? Rollerblading, flattening the earth a little bit closer to the center so it can get hotter, so then the heat comes from the ozone because you're pressing down the earth with your little rollerblades?
Well, yeah, but
I'm a better person than you are.
No, because on Wednesdays I'm planting trees and I'm trying to bring the earth back to what it was.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you're cutting up other trees' roots, though. What a fucking
right.
asshole. You Why can't you just let earth be the way it's be? You got to take your shovel and dig into it? Wow. I'm a better person than you are.
I know.
Dude.
I make my own manure. I make my own soil. I'm not chopping up any other
Oh,
roots.
so you don't like cows. You don't like cows pooping.
I hate farmers.
Unbelievable. You hate farmers. Oh, you don't like a head of cows. Oh, you don't like burgers?
Then how come I'm in the Farmers Association of America and I'm going to help?
Oh, you're a lifetime member of the FFA. Hey,
yeah, that's right.
That's what I make. I'm a better person than you are.
No, you're not. I'm a better person than you are.
That's politics, baby. That's what we just did right there. Let's get to the phones. Once again, I think we batted 1,000.
Boom.
In politics with what we just did right there.
How about that?
I do believe after that argument, though, people would say I was a better person than fucking you are, dude.
No, because everyone I just read on Twitter was like, oh my God, this guy rollerblades. I need to start doing that too.
No, that's because you mute all the other people that are actually on my side. They're telling you you're not the right person.
No, I refuse to mute anybody because I love everybody.
Oh, you're like freedom of speech. How come then you're not going to listen to everybody?
I do love freedom of speech. That's why I'm not muting anybody.
I'm better
What are
than
you
you are.
talking about? No, I'm better than you are.
Everybody's saying it.
No.
Yeah, everybody's saying I'm a better person than you are.
I heard it.
We just did, by the way, still batting 1,000 on politics. I feel so good about it. We even got into the reaction to the punditry.
Yes.
We're batting a fucking 1,000 out there.
Every side.
The people say we're not well-rounded. We don't have depth. Did you hear what we just fucking did?
Come on.
Wow. Let's go to the phones, man.
Couple people, one college kid, took a shot at my swag.
We noticed.
We know. We don't like that
I
kid.
don't think a lot of people understand what swag is. Some of this younger generation thinks, swag is just like the clothes I wear or whatever. No. Swag is a mentality.
Yeah.
Swag is a mindset. I try to tell this to some of the guys in the locker room this week. I said swagger, which is what swag comes from. Swagger is a mindset. Swagger isn't that you have a Supreme backpack on. Or that you have your shoes, unlaced walking around with, you got your new Louis fanny pack that you make sure it's not worn at your waist, it's worn over your shoulder. That's not swag. That's not swagger. That's fashion choices. True swag is owning your inner essence. It's a mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And my essence on the field is that I feel like I'm a throwback player and I'm a tough guy. What I've played through, how I wear my stuff, I'm kind of a no-nonsense, straightforward. To me, that's what swag is all about.
You're damn
all
right.
this fake swag out there. I got my special towel. I got this. I got that. I got this writing out there. A lot of you guys are just posers.
All right.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Today's sponsor is Noom. Noom is a digital health platform that helps empower you to take control of your health. Focuses on building healthy routines and habits because there's so much more to being healthy than just losing weight and dieting.
True.
Here's how it works. You start by taking a quick assessment used to tailor a custom plan for you.
Really?
It's good for the office. You guys better get on this.
Bingo.
We are.
What do you mean?
Then,
Jay, thank you for body shaming
picture
all
of
of us
health.
from afar.
Thanks, dude.
Stupid, dude.
maybe you should think about it too.
Yeah, because we've
I
been
am-
watching
I am
those
tight.
shirts
That's
get
why I
really
figured-
tight on you.
Yeah.
Shirts been getting really tight. Seen a lot of black on you lately, huh? That's
That's
fast.
right. Not looking so slim.
So, yeah, maybe you need to change
Let me
your
know
mindset.
let me know how I can help myself.
Well, here's how it works, AJ. You start by taking a quick assessment used to tailor a custom plan for you. Then Noom connects you with a coach who is a real person, trained in psychology, fitness, and nutrition to help guide and cheer you as you go. And they have these,
AJ needs that.
he does, big time. They also
Definitely
have
need that
these
cheerleader
food
every
and
morning.
exercise trackers with lessons and little psych tricks, which have helped us, get on the path to reaching our goals.
That's right.
If you're like us and want to build healthy habits and take control of your health, you can get a free Noom evaluation and a 7-day trial when you use the link at Noom.com/McAfee. Once again, when you use the link in the description, you'll get a free Noom evaluation and 7-day trial. Once again, that's Noom, Noom.com/McAfee to take your free Noom assessment and begin a 7-day trial.
Shout out to Noom, changing people's lives. We appreciate the hell out of them. Noom.com/McAfee. AJ Hawk needs to head there ASAP. Let's go to 5 Hour Energy phone line. Let's go to Mark in Texarkana. What's going on, Mark? And what does that mean?
What does what mean?
So Texarkana, are you just literally standing on the straddle of the fucking border there?
Actually, the state line goes right down through the middle of the town.
That is awesome. So which state's better then for you guys? You do you guys house your money in a bank in one state and then everybody lives in another state? Is there any of that type of stuff? Who has better food? Is Arkansas better food than Texas? Who has
better taxes? Is the issue.
Well, that's the bank. Yeah, that's where you put.
Yeah, the tax issue is the big difference.
Who's better?
Texas higher property tax, Arkansas income tax.
So you're hiding your money in Texas, living in Arkansas.
Boom.
Hell yeah.
Bingo. Put the bank on that side of the street for Texas. Let's live over here in Arkansas, though. Woo pig suey, but my cash is throwing them horns. What do you want to talk about, Mark?
Well, two things. First off, comment about Ben Roethlisberger going up to Buffalo. Would it be awesome?
Bill does?
for them to cue up the song "I Touch Myself" by the Divine.
This is bullshit.
Hey, this is coming from a guy who lives in 2 states.
This is
For the
bullshit.
first offensive series.
This guy lives in 2 states. He's saying that from a long way away. But it would be crazy if that's how they introduced the Pittsburgh Steelers jogging out. Bill's Mafia would go. It would be like jump around from Wisconsin.
Yeah. You're allowed to. That's taunting.
Oh, it's not taunting because they didn't do it directly at Ben.
Yeah,
They're
they
doing
did.
it to the stadium.
Game hasn't started yet.
Speakers are facing the field.
No, what was his name? Cantor told
Jim. Respect. Greatest weatherman of our generation.
Who
Thank you.
told it? By the way, a lot of weather people getting called into question when they're going out into places where they're telling everybody else not to go to, and then they're acting as if it's much worse than the people who are not listening to the leaving things and they're just walking through the back, I guess. You know? So maybe Jim Cantor had a fan sometimes. What people are saying, not me.
Whoa.
I would never say that. I'm just telling you what people say. But didn't Aaron say that the taunting thing, the ref, what ref was that? I forget which one it was. It was a good one. It was
Tony Correnti?
It was Correnti who said, like, as long as you don't look at somebody. So if they play I Touch Myself just in the city of Buffalo, I mean, what do you want from that? Ain't taunting
As
at
long
all.
as the speakers are facing outwards and not towards the field.
Do you think people
laugh.
would get it though? I feel like.
at this point,
yeah. Come on.
I mean, I don't feel like this is a subject that is brought up on a lot of other shows.
It is.
Bro, it was a Schefter notification, right? Remember that? After he did.
What did it say? What exactly did the tweet say, though? That's what I need
I'll
to hear.
find it.
In a testimony of his faith to a congregation that he was obviously thinking was private last night, Ben Roethlisberger says he has changed his entire life decisions, including no longer beating the hell out of his penis, is what I think Schefter said. Sources say, is what he said at the end. So Buffalo definitely heard that. I mean, they love sports. They got that notification. And Ben's way past that. The team is as well. But I'll tell you what, Mark down there in Texarkana did maybe fuel the fire a little bit up there in Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo's ready. We know Buffalo looks into everything, and you can expect some little pleasantries for Ben when he gets in there.
You know what I do appreciate out of you? Is Buffalo is the owner of the AFC East now. And you are in the AFC East. You're the former owner of it.
Sure.
And you have the utmost respect for them, I think.
I do. I respect Buffalo the same way Diggs respect and Steeler Nation respects the Ravens. You know, they're the Browns in the division, and then there are the Ravens in the division in that AFC North. In the AFC East, there are the Bills, which you respect, and then there are the Dolphins. You know what I mean? There's two different types of...
Take it easy.
Jess just got dunked on. And what happened? The Dolphins, I guess, did as well. What happened to the... What's going on with Jamar Chase and Joey Burrow over there? You hearing anything?
Mental. It's obviously a mental thing. Like you can do jugs all you want, but it's just it's like the yips. I feel like putting. He needs to find a way to make a catch early in his first game and just put this thing behind him. Like, just, I don't know, go out and do what he can do.
So Joey Burrow obviously is the reason why Jamar Chase was brought in. Their connection 2 years ago, Jamar didn't play last year, was beautiful and led to a national championship, led to Jamar being obviously top 10 pick or whatever it was. The thought, though, that Joey might have to look at him and say, hey, listen, okay, we're going to need you to catch fucking football, pal. Like, would Joey do that, you think? Is that something that Joey
Probably. Doesn't seem like Joe Burrow is that kind of guy, but it's already been so difficult, I feel like, for Chase. And I live in Ohio, so I've seen a little more of it, I feel like, his drops.
Oh, so it's been bad over there?
Yeah, people like talk about it. They're worried, but it's every drop that you continue to have has to be like it just piles on top of you. You got to find a way to get away from it and just make some catches. But yeah, I think at this point it's completely mental.
So for me, like, I didn't even want to see another punter or holder drop a ball. Like, if I saw, even in the game we were playing, and I'm on the sideline, I'm watching the other punter, and there's a bobble, I'm like, oh, no. Like I was even like, don't even look at it, don't even see that, don't even think about that. And if I was to even drop a snap, like in practice, 1,000%, all I'm thinking about when I'm going on the field is like, all right, catch the ball. And once you start worrying about just catching the ball, then guess what you're not thinking about is all the other shit that you have to do.
Where to run your route, like you got to read your route as like there's sometimes when you have some freedom in the route to break it one way or the other. All of those little things, like you're not thinking about that. You're just like, man, if the ball comes my way, I have to catch it because if you drop the first one, that's rough.
Well, and also, let's hope, though, and we're a pretty optimistic show, I think. Just like when you're shooting hoops, you put one in, right? You put one in, it kind of takes the top off. Yeah. And then maybe you kind of get in there. Foxy did that to me yesterday. Kid went 0 for 10. Okay, nice. He let somebody else eat some points up, get knocked out, and then he didn't miss ever again. And it was like, son of a bitch. I should have got him whenever he was in the middle of his I can't shoot a basketball phase, which changed with one shot. All it takes is one shot to kind of get over that thing. Let's hope that Jamar Chase is just one sick, nasty catch or just a standard catch away from being like, oh, this is why I'm the guy. I did not know it was this big of a deal, though.
No.
I had no
Can't
idea.
emphasize enough, too. He's probably not used to walking 2 miles to the practice field and expelling that much energy before practice starts.
Yeah, it's hard to open a map and like read where you have to walk to.
Exactly.
Because he can't do it on his phone because everything's on top of each other. So the blue dot is it doesn't
It's all
know.
messed up.
So he's fucking Christopher Columbus with these maps. Then he has to worry about also catching a ball.
Yeah.
I mean, build an indoor facility. This Jamar Chase drops problem isn't existent, I don't think. Joey B will get him right, though. I think the Bengals are going to be much better than they were last year. They have to be. I think Zach Taylor said.
Yeah.
They have to be. AJ, hour 3, what are we going to get? We got Dahn Orlovsky late, but up until then, what are you thinking?
I mean, obviously we'll get out to the 5-hour energy phone lines and get some of their callers, but I think there's plenty of stuff. We're going to do our predictions at some point, right?
Yeah, Super Bowl predictions is what I was hoping you would say. That's happening to lead off hour 3. Then some phone calls, then Orlovsky, then NFL football. We'll see you in 6. I have a surprise. Obviously, that's what this show is all about. We have boots on the ground in Cleveland, who I assume knew this was going to happen all along. Ladies and gentlemen, live from Cleveland, Mr. Jason Glazer. Your thoughts on Kyle Pitts to Atlanta, fine sir? Oh, there's a delay.
Well, first and foremost, Pat, I'd like to say, hey, listen, thanks for having me. Cleveland is beautiful this time of year. Granted, it does smell like a mixture of poop and diarrhea and sewage.
Jesus.
It doesn't smell great down here.
Jesus.
But I'll tell you what, 27 years in this thing, I fucking live for the draft. Love being down here. Love being into Cleveland. But yeah, Kyle Pitts, listen. What do you want me to say? I knew this 2 weeks ago. Really? I mean, do we need to do this whole fucking song and dance?
Okay.
I'll give you guys 1 through 32 if you want to know. You know, do you want to have fun?
That's nice.
You want to not know who's going? But yeah, I had this 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm wondering is if the guy you had in your studio, Mad Mel Kiper, I know that sorry son of a bitch didn't have this 2 weeks ago.
Mike's not plugged in.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I actually just explained it.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
No,
I
you
did.
didn't. No, you
Yes, I
didn't.
did.
No,
I
you
had
didn't.
this.
I did.
Yeah,
I
no,
did.
no, you
I
didn't.
did. You
I
didn't.
had this. I
I did.
had
You
it.
didn't.
Trust me. Can
You
I
didn't.
talk for Christ's sake?
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
talk? Okay,
Go ahead.
yeah. Like I said, Kyle Pitts,
No, you didn't.
unbelievable talent.
No, you didn't. You didn't fucking
Yes,
have
I
it. No, you
did.
didn't. You're a bad sack of shit,
Jason.
Kiper. I know it. I looked at your mock draft.
Jason, please relax. Oh my God. Had no idea it was going to get like that. Sorry about that, Mad Mel. Obviously, there's a little bit of content there. He's saying you don't know your ass for a fucking hole in the ground, though, Mad Mel. How do you feel about that from Jason Glazer live in Cleveland?
Well, classic move. You know, Glazer looks like he's getting ready to go to a goddamn titty bar or something like that. I mean, dress up, pal. It's the NFL draft. Look at me. I'm dressed to the nines. You know, you look like an asshole. I mean, get him out of here, can we? I mean, is he going to stick around? Can we get him the hell out of here?
I think, is his microphone still on? Jay, can you hear us? Jay, is everything good back there?
Listen, fuck you guys. I'm out of here. I'm going over to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm going to hang out with Dee Snider and Twisted Sister.
Are you serious? Okay, Jason, sorry. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, Jason Glazer.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have got to experience so many things, both as a businessman off the field and on the field. Is there a moment when I ask this question and pops your mind, like, what's the craziest shit you've ever seen in your entire life? Because there was a time there where it felt like you were just getting dropped into insane situations and the world was like watching you do things. Man vs. Wild, you and that Bear Grylls guy, fucking electric. That was maybe the most electric shit I've ever seen. Is there anything that you think of whenever you think, like, what's the most ridiculous thing you've been a part of?
Probably some of the most ridiculous shit I ever been a part of was, you know, I had got the restaurant which I'm in right now, and you know, when we first got it, I would come in here and I would, you know, clean up and go outside in the front, sweep up, you know, make sure everything looked nice and shit. And one morning I got up here and I noticed, you know, like, damn, this is a funky ass smell. And I looked, you know what I mean, to the side of my front door, and it's a big ass pile of shit. And I'm talking about human shit.
Yeah,
and it's right on the side of the door. So I was like, somebody done came and popped the shit right in front of the door. Like, oh, this shit is crazy. Like, I can't be in here serving food. Motherfucker come walk in and they smelling straight ass cheeks when they come in there. Like, I don't think that's the restaurant I need to eat in. So, man, I get the water hose and I'm hosing it down. And, you know, I see, you know, we got a couple, you know, dolphins that usually walk back up in front. Hey, man, did you do this? Like, oh, no. So You know, one of them owned up to it. I said, "Look, man, check it out. So you don't do this no more. Look, you come by here, we get you a, you know, what I mean, we get you a broom and you know, you help us, we help you. You feel me? And you know, we put together a little, I put a proposition together for him, and I ain't cleaning up shit no more."
It's a win-win. It's a win for everybody on that one. Hey, one of your former teammates. Yeah, hey, everybody wins. You're helping the people, man. That's awesome. That's why people love you. But hey,
one of them owned up to it. Just a line of questioning. The line of questioning.
His name was Willie. Willie owned up to. Matter of fact, he just left out. He saying sweeping up. He like, "Hey, what's up? Oh boy, I've been looking for you." You feel? Okay. We bust down together up in the front of the restaurant to get it all cleaned up and everything.
Hey, you're helping people. Hey, Willie went from shitting outside to working inside. Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go, Willie. Let's go.
Give it up for my boy Willie, man.
How are ya?
I'm Roman, a men's health brand that can dance very well and make you the best you possible. Are you suffering from male pattern baldness? Dahn! We got something for that. Herpes. See ya! Premature ejaculation gone. No more coming too quick. Allergies as well. And that's not all. We have clinically tested supplements for everything, including erectile dysfunction. Come on! Bye-bye! GetRoman.com/Pat. Be the best you possible.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show, Thursday, September 9th. NFL regular season kickoff Thursday has officially arrived, and hour 3 is here, and it's going to be big. AJ Hawk joins us immediately here. Dahn Orlovsky of ESPN fame will join us in about 35 minutes or so, maybe 40 minutes. We'll see if we can wrap up hour 3 with his big-ass brain going into the NFL regular season kickoff spectacle that's happening tonight down in Tampa Bay. Banners will fly. Ed Sheeran will sell $50 T-shirts and put on an incredible performance. And Tom Brady in the seems to be unstoppable Buccaneers.
Yep.
We'll play host to Dak Prescott, Big Mike McCarthy, and the Dallas Cowboys. It's a beautiful day. We have some breaking news, AJ Hawk.
What happened?
We led off this show stating that when the line moved to 8.5 from 7.5 to 8 to 8.5, it was at minus 105. We learned about this with the juice being at 105. Normally it'll go all the way to 120 before it moves another half a point. And you got to remember that sports books are just trying to get somewhere near 50-50 on either side. That line has moved since this show has started to minus 9.5 for the Buccaneers tonight. Minus 9.5 at minus 102 if you want to hammer the Buccaneers, or if you would like to get a bet in on the Buccaneers before tonight's game, you got a FanDuel. In my Super Boost is minus 9.5 for plus 150.
Yeah, good.
Legitimately, the first Super Boost of the season is the same as the actual spread. It was supposed to be an alternate spread, and we got odds at plus 150 when everybody else is at minus 102. That thing could continue to move, by the way, as people continue to hammer in on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you liked 8.5, I don't know how you don't like 9.5, and I assume that's what the sports books were seeing in the betting. We can get it as a Super Boost on FanDuel plus 150. This is a big deal. Who knows if it's going to continue to move? That was a quick jump, AJ. That was a very quick jump by the sports books.
Yeah, so I mean, people feel really good about the Bucs' chances of covering, right?
Well, I've only seen something like this happen, just a few months ago.
Oh, that's right.
And I think it was, just like Shopify just fucking crashed or whatever. It just so happened to crash today. There was a draft day where we were leading into our draft spectacular, our annual event that we absolutely love, where we talk about a lot of players we know nothing about, but we celebrate the fact that teams are potentially getting better, or on the spot reactions, they got worse or whatever. We had a little piece of information that was told to us, like, hey, Mac Jones ain't going to the Niners at 3 or whatever. So we led off the show with saying, we've been talking about it for 2.5 months now at this point, and Mac Jones going to San Francisco 49ers. Our intel is telling us it ain't Mac Jones. And then all of a sudden, by the way, as soon as those words came out of our mouths, and there was other people that said that they said it as well, obviously. Of course you did. And there's other sales probably happening on Shopify. Of course. And what was that platform that we moved?
Anchor.
Anchor. Of course. There was probably other podcasts that were doing great there when that thing crashed our first day over there, whatever the case is. But that line moved very quickly.
Yeah.
What do they know? What does the sports book know? Is it because the people that I've put up a good pitch, like, hey, if you like 8.5, you like 9.5, and we're getting a lot of people betting on Tampa, or everybody else is feeling the same exact way we are, it just so happens to be coincidence? Or is there maybe a piece of information that's coming out day of game, which could happen this season, especially with everything popping off with COVID protocol? Diggs, your thoughts on the line moving this quickly? This is kind of your world.
Yeah, the Mac and that was definitely information driven. And then they didn't want to get caught with their pants down and lose a bunch of money. The line normally moves for a few reasons. The respected money comes in on guys that they know are very good at gambling.
Shops.
Not
sharks. Like Baby Shark. Baby Shark. Baby Shark. Baby Shark. What we're talking about is a big whale, which is a big sharp. Big sharp. That's a P at the end. That's when the sharps come in. Normally, sports books do react.
Like Warren. And you talked about it. No,
that's Warren Sharp. He is a sharp, but that's when it comes to analytics. I'm not sure he has moved into the. I'm not sure he's moved into the thing for. Also, he had something yesterday with chemistry with the science teacher, and I think I either didn't hear it or we talked over it. I mean, Zito has some fastballs back there while spinning 10 different plates, but this could be the sharps coming in late, right? That's what this could be.
That. I don't think it's that. I think it's, you referenced it or talked about it just a couple minutes ago. The book likes to have 50% of the money on each team so that no matter the outcome of the game, no matter who covers, they get to collect the juice that we have to pay to bet at their sports book.
The 05 that it is right now, minus 105, the minus 115, whatever the case, because that's a rake basically for those that are card players.
So they don't have liability. My guess is, Pat, you led off the show talking about it. You've been beating the drum for the last 2 days. I assume there is an outpour of money coming in on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So to get more people to bet on the Dallas Cowboys, they have to make the line more appealing for the Cowboys until they try to get as close to 50% as possible.
So, quick question. Are we then sharps? Are we sharps? Are we sharps? Are we sharps? I think we're sharps. I think we're sharps. I think we're sharps. We might be sharps.
We'll know tomorrow.
We'll find out, and they might take us off the list, too.
Hey, how many guys make
whatever
that? Who does the line, though? I want to know. You know all the FanDuel people. You have a great relationship. Is there like one person that gets to change the line? Or
there's a head guy. There's algorithms. There's a lot of shit. The head booker has actually come on to hammer down numerous times.
There's people that take over it. There's people that have to use their brains to do it. There's computers that will show them obviously where the liability is and what they should do. It's a whole process.
Just some updated news also around the NFL. Quentin Nelson is practicing today.
Wow.
Best foot doctor in the history of foot doctors. Yeah. Quentin Nelson's back. Carson Wentz is back. Paris Campbell, I didn't know he was out. Okay, don't love that.
He was close contact with COVID, I believe.
Okay, Paris Campbell's going to have a healthy year. He's rocking a number one. He's going to do great. That's what number ones for the Colts do. You do well. Okay, Xavier Rhodes is also out there, not in pads. Okay, so the Colts are good. The Sharps are potentially in this room. Football season is upon us. AJ, it is time for you to step back into that prediction batters box, whether you're a lefty or righty, and take another big time swing. We've had delays, and yesterday you even tried to cancel it and question why we even predict or project anything. AJ Hawk, it is now time for you to make your choice of who will be in the Super Bowl representing the AFC and NFC of this 2021 season whenever it ends February 12th or whatever it is.
Chiefs, Packers.
Okay.
Okay.
My pick.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I was potentially going to do the same.
Oh, were you? Okay.
I'm not, though.
You need me to change now?
No, I'm not going to do it now, though. And I thought about this morning after seeing the motivational video that the Colts put out with Orlovsky and Keyshawn Johnson speaking over it.
Mm-hmm.
I did ask who edited the video, just because I am petty enough.
Had to know.
Hey, who made the decisions editing this video, just so I know. I have not gotten a response yet, but that person knows that I will hate them forever. Okay, I feel like
Yes.
I've gone on the sword of for the Colts for a long time out here. And maybe it's because the whole, when Aaron Rodgers was potentially available and Matthew Stafford was potentially available, I was like, whoa, why are we so, let's not take $100 million from the Philadelphia Eagles and Carson Wentz. But then once Matthew Stafford moved to the Rams and Aaron Rodgers is now obviously back at the Packers, it's like, hey, come on in, Carson's look great, love to have him on the show, love the guy, love the Colts. I don't think they have enough weapons, though. Okay, I don't believe they're going to have enough weapons going forward. I think they're going to be a great team going for it. I like the Chiefs and Buccaneers.
Ooh.
Again,
right back.
Wait, so you were going to take the Packers, though?
Yes, yeah, I was going to, and now.
So you were pumping Tampa Bay up yesterday all day, saying how they're going to go undefeated, nobody can beat them. So you were going to pick against them until you heard my pick.
Well, the only reason why I was going to pick against them is because there's a guy who seems to be more motivated somehow than he was even last year. And his body feels good. And this might be like another like prove it type year. And that's Aaron Rodgers. He was MVP last year. It seems like the only right thing to do for Aaron Rodgers Tuesday season 2 would be fucking go and win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't take steps backwards around here. We take steps forward, especially with this entire thing. But I can't just bury you all Super Bowl week if we have the same exact thing. So that's what I'm doing. I guess I'm doing Chiefs and Bucks. And I mean, is that a sign?
Huh.
Looks
Switch
like
it
a
back.
sign.
Switch it back.
Pod goes to 3 times a week. There it is. I'm joking. All right, so I'm sticking with same thing I predicted last year. I'll do it again. Okay. Although I was going to go with Packers strictly because of Aaron Rodgers. I thought you were going to come with some doofus projection.
I'm all in. Like, I know I've been negative on this whole game in the prediction situation, but I'm all in. Once I'm in, I'm in. I'm not going to.
Boys, quickly, let's go around the horn here.
Packers, Bills.
Patriots.
Oh, fucking Bills. I completely forgot about the Bills. I could have subbed them in for the...
You could. Hey, not too late.
I got flustered there, didn't I? You guys saw me. I'm in my cowboy boots. Okay? I'm wearing my nicest necklace that I have. All right, this is the cleanest this tank top has been since... I don't know. I bought 50 of them, so you rarely have to clean any of them. This thing's going on round 2 now. Huh?
Nothing. Keep going. I'm sorry.
It's not the cut that you were referring to. Okay,
You're such a
You heard me. So
Come
you heard
on.
me.
This is a scallop.
Don't say huh when you heard me. Don't say what when you hear me.
Well, it's just one of those things where I'm like, no fucking way he just said what he said. And then I have to look at the screen and I'm like, it's AJ Hawk. Of course he said what he said.
He did.
But nonetheless, like, how did I get so flustered that I didn't even remember the Bildos, the Bills Mafia, the Josh Allen tapes from this morning? You're right. What do you have, Connor?
Pats Bucks.
All right, Diggs?
49ers, Bills.
40 fucking Niners. I completely forgot about the Niners.
Yeah.
All right, hey, we did a segment, boys. Let's go.
Hey, here we go.
Hey, lock them in. Lock them in now. Those who need to be addressed and ridiculed for their stupid predictions and projections on who's going to be in the Super Bowl shall be mocked and ridiculed all season. That is a part of this segment. AJ took it on the shins all year last year. It could be you.
Could be.
It could be you.
Probably.
It could be you.
Sure.
It ain't going to be me. It might be me. Nah, it can't be.
Nah,
They're going to be good.
Yeah.
I took a safer out there, I think, even though I didn't mean to.
Very safe. Very safe. But I mean, both of us had safe picks.
All right, how about this? Right now, hashtag PMS Superb Owl. Okay?
Yep.
Of course.
Make sure you capitalize the O here.
Yes.
Superb Owl prediction. Pick your 2 teams. We'll give $25,000 to one person that gets it right.
Holy shit.
Okay, so there's probably going to be a lot of repeat answers. Obviously, we will obviously pick from the group. It's hashtag PMS Superb Owl Predictions. That is PMS SUPERB capital OWL PREDICTIONS. You can enter in to win $25,000. We'll give away to one person that accurately predicts who will be in the Super Bowl. This is a real segment. This is a recurring segment on our show now.
Yeah,
that's right.
We're doing this now. This is the thing, AJ. Let's go. And by the way, AJ, if you're right, You already put in your entry. You'll be also in there.
Wow.
Yeah, he'll be one of the scrollers there.
Okay.
Let's celebrate this NFL season. Let's go.
No one said Rams.
No one said Rams. And by the way, as soon as you said Niners,
I thought
in my head I saw Matthew Stafford just, and then McVay gunning. You know,
I was going to take the Rams.
what do you got? You want in?
Chiefs, Rams.
Okay, Zeke.
Bears, Patriots.
Okay, so you did hear the.
He's been eliminated.
No. I'm just saying you did hear that when you enter into this,
Yeah.
you do agree to potential ridicule for an entire season.
Yes, yeah.
Not the people that tweet hashtag PMS Superb Out Predictions. You can you're okay. All right, you guys can go ahead and shoot in the piss in the wind, whatever you want to do. But in this particular room.
In my head, I see the rookie quarterback off.
Oh, so Andy Dalton stinks. So you guys are going to lose some
Whoa.
games early.
Season.
Then you're going to have to bounce back. Nick, your thoughts?
Pat, much like you, I think Tom Brady will get back to the promised land, and from the AFC, he will take on the Cleveland Browns.
Oh!
Son of a bitch.
Terrible towel. You might as well step on it. You might as well throw that on the
Something
ground.
else.
Huh?
I'm surprised he went against the Steelers.
No, you're saying he should use it as a spank towel like a quarterback.
We know who
Disgusting.
socks
You
is.
are-
Right. You heard me.
You
Why
are.
did you stop saying huh when you hear
You
me.
are disgusting. You heard me. I love that. Whenever I forget what coach I had, that was like his go-to. You know what I mean? He would be yelling from 60 yards away. We kind of heard it. Huh? You fucking heard me. What do you have, Gumpy?
Chiefs, Niners.
Oh, no Dolphins there.
Looking good back there.
He does look good. You should see what he's doing, by the way, to the Twitter right now. He's going. I'm excited to see how he handles SmackDown, too. You know what I mean? That's not an easy job. Like, hey, they have to figure out, Nick had to do this for a long time. Now Gumpy's going to have to do this. Like, what doesn't make me look like a complete dipshit from my own account? And how do we pick and choose what's actually worth being shown to people, you know? Because it's a lot of misses coming out of my mouth. So Gumpy's going to have to pick and choose. I'm excited for him. I'm very thankful for him. And good luck in there, dude. Good luck out there.
Good luck, Gumpy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, no problem, Gump. All right, so everybody's going to eat shit if their teams stink.
Yep.
Here we go.
Sure.
Zito just put himself right under the rim.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I respect it.
I live under the rim.
You don't, actually. And I'm
I
thankful
do.
you don't. Connor actually does.
I do.
though.
Real estate, a lot of it.
Connor,
Block a lot.
Connor said 13.5 tonight. This thing's going to he gets a 15.
I mean,
and
it's already damn near 10, so I feel much better about the 13.5.
Once again, we cannot reiterate enough. If you're going to bet on the Buccaneers at this point going forward, with the spread being minus 9.5 for the Bucs, we have a boost that takes it from minus 105 to plus 150 on the same exact spread at FanDuel Sportsbook. Also, you could use that as your free bet.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That you have for week one. You use your brain on your free bet. You can make that a parlay as well. I see somebody put together a free $10 bet that has a $35,000 payout at the end.
Damn.
Could you imagine if FanDuel has to stare down a bet that they gave away for free that is worth $35,000 in the end? The email I will get from the risk and trading company inside of FanDuel will be like, hope you're fucking happy, dude.
One of those is going to hit this weekend, too.
I hope so.
One of them will.
That might be Mitt, to be honest. I believe he took Cowboys money line in it to be a draw at halftime. So that's big odds.
Pretty big payout? Like
Yeah,
a couple
but-
$1,000?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go, Mitt. Hey,
Yeah,
let's go,
Mitt.
Mitt.
There you go, Mitt.
Mitt's the only dude in the office who has been hard riding the Cowboys.
Cowboys,
team.
Lakers, Duke.
Yankees, Duke.
He's a White Sox fan.
And his dad's a coach for Broncos, so I'm sure his dad's fucking pumped about that. Hey, thanks for not being a fan of the team that employs your father. And thanks for being a fan of another team that nobody knew you were actually a fan of. But he has been riding with these Cowboys pretty hard.
Oh, yeah.
I will say he has been riding with them. He's wearing the same Cowboys hoodie for the last 4 days.
And it's been like 5 months since he announced his fandom for the Cowboys, so it's been a long road for him.
What are you saying? It's Fugazi?
I'm not saying it's Fugazi. I'm just saying I believe his pinned tweet is still him announcing that he picked the Cowboys this year as his team.
Oh, yeah.
Do
Because
it on TikTok too?
It was kind of a TikTok video, but I think this was before Mitt was on TikTok.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, if Mitt says it, I might have to rethink mine. If Mitt's gone the Cowboys bandwagon right now.
Oh, are you picking the Cowboys to win tonight?
No.
Okay. All right, let's go to the 5-hour energy phone lines.
The 10, I don't do point spreads, but the spread, I don't know. They could find a way.
Hey, 9.5 is a lot of points.
Yeah.
Just garbage. You know how garbage touchdowns happen at the end, stuff like that.
Yeah, especially with, the Cowboys last year, late in games was whenever they were actually getting going. And like Dalton I remember it was Minnesota last year. Was it Minnesota? I think it was Minnesota last year. In Minnesota, something happened with Dallas late where people were like, hey, the Dallas Cowboys might be finding this thing. Big Mike McCarthy ain't going to let them shut it down in the fourth quarter if they're down 30 or whatever. 9.5 is a lot of points.
Yeah.
Would it change your mind, too, to like find out right before halftime or right before game time that Big Mike did, in fact, bash some watermelons and all of a sudden the boys are coming out rearing to go?
Hey, there's no way he brought out the mallet and the watermelons for week one.
No.
Someone should check like the local grocery stores to see what their stock is on watermelons. If they are low, then I would bet the Cowboys.
Yeah, that would have been last night, right? We would have already had news on whether or not he bashed watermelons, right? We would
You
know.
might do it in the morning too. You never know.
Before the game.
I couldn't imagine Big Mike slamming watermelons in the morning team meeting day of game. I mean, that would be incredible.
Move the line.
Imagine me. So I was always just like a complete zombie in those hotels. All right, as soon as I get there, I'm trying to fall asleep. I'm trying to get to the meeting. I'm enjoying snack a lot, and then I'm trying to go back to sleep, and then I'm literally waking up, rolling into these meetings, trying to go back to sleep. So if it's a 1 o'clock game, 4 o'clock game, 8 o'clock game, it's all the same because I'm just waking up a certain amount of hours before, and then I'm off and running. If I walked into a morning team meeting on game day of our first game, and fucking Big Mike came dancing out with that thing, I would lose my mind. And I think we should have got a heads up on whether or not watermelons were smashed or not. I think that's kind of fucked up that they kind of kept that in private.
Well, Big Mike probably, he probably threatens people. Wants to let them know, like, hey, this is our thing. Don't make this about them. This is about us. The watermelon. This is me. This is our team, the Cowboys.
Hey, what you see, say here, and watermelons get smashed here, stay here. All right. Let's go to Collie in Indianapolis. What's going on, Collie? What are your thoughts, pal?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Not too shabby. I think, after this show, because, I mean, today I don't really need it because it's NFL regular season kickoff Thursday. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think I really need it, but I'd go right over to 5hourenergy.com. That's the number 5, HOUR, energy.com. Use promo code McAfee and get 10% off my order of the greatest energy shots in the game. But today I don't need that. So I'm good, man, actually. Thank you for asking, Collie. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Feeling the same way, actually.
Nice. How do you feel about Quentin Nelson practicing? Paris Campbell's practicing. Carson Wentz is practicing. Are you a Colts fan in Indianapolis? And what do you want to talk about, pal?
Oh, hell no. Go, Pack, go. I got a question for Ty.
Go ahead.
Okay, so a lot going on with Devontae Adams. Don't know what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. Who do you want to see stay in Green Bay after this beautiful season we're going to have? I want to see Jenkins and Jair make it.
I'm not thinking about that right now, man. I'm fucking focused on this season and enjoying Raj. One last chance here.
I think you would want to keep Aaron Rodgers, right?
Bingo.
Devontae is awesome. If you could get both to stay, you would want to do that. Jair, you want to stay. All the great players you want to stay.
Definitely.
Aaron is the guy that you would like to see for the next 5-6 years.
Well, and I think he's the corner. I mean, if he leaves, there's not a very good chance that Devontae stays. If you get him, there's a chance you can work something out. And if Rodgers goes, oh boy.
Colley's a forward thinker, though, future thinker. Let's enjoy the season, Colley.
Might be the last one.
Yeah, it's the last dance. They're saying, what if Gunterkins, okay, on the team plane ride home, longest one, he's got a bottle of scotch and he's like Jerry Krause. He's back there dancing. And Aaron's like, you know what? This son of a bitch is a lot better than I thought. And maybe Mark Murphy's like, hey, Aaron, we're thinking about building another $100 million building. You think that's a good idea? And Aaron's like, actually, I would put it on that side of the street, though, for you. Oh, good call. And what if it's just all kumbaya and the team is good forever? That could happen.
It could. I hope, at least for the start of the season, they make him get a rental car and drive to the games.
Who?
Gutekunst.
All right, have a driver pick him up. No, actually, get him a minivan.
Yeah.
Get him a minivan. Right now, currently, hashtag PMS Superb Owl prediction for $25,000 is trending number 3 on Twitter.
Wow.
If that thing gets up to number 1, okay? So that's Cowboys and Matrix. It's going to be tough. You got Keanu Reeves, and you got Jerry Jones in the most expensive franchise in the history of sports at $6.9 billion. Biggest thing, America's team. If that gets up to number 1, we'll move that up to $50,000.
Whoa!
That's not going to happen, by the way. I would like to let everybody know I do not expect that to happen. That's why I'm so free, in this thing. This is like the AJ Hawk golf bet with me or whatever.
Sure.
It's $25,000 right now if you get this Bills Mafia. Look at trending
Saying
Bills
it's
Mafia.
not going to happen. Okay.
It will not get to 1. Cowboys, day of game.
Well, if you got a lot of Cowboy fans, too, they're going to be tweeting
Well, I was going
Cowboys.
to say, no, the
so
good
it's
news is
kinda-
that Cowboys won't go up anymore because no one's picking them to win the Super Bowl, right?
Oh, okay. So a little shot across the bow at the Dallas Cowboys. We've already done enough. You know what I mean? I think sports books are now dumping on Dak, too.
Yeah.
I wonder if Big Mike McCarthy's like, 10 points, boys. Boys, they're saying we're going to lose by 10. That's what literally everybody is saying right now, that we're going to lose by 10. And that number's only going up. Give me that fucking water. Give me a sledge. Let's get to the phone calls. Let's go to Raymond in Texas. What's going on, Raymond?
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Pat and the boys?
What's going on, Raymond? Thank you for calling into the show. What do you want to talk about, dude?
Nothing much. Just about how I live in West Texas, land of oil field, pit bulls, and batshit crazy Cowboy fans.
Okay, hold on. Is that where the big green was?
No, this is oil field country. Out in West Midland, Odessa.
Oh,
Midland. Permian Panthers.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and you said the Cowboys fans are crazy out there?
Fuck yeah. Every year they're winning the Super Bowl. We got cars out here, boats painted with Cowboy shit all over it. The local supermarket will give you 20% off if you wear Cowboy gear. I don't know if they feel sorry for you for losing all the money or
So, Raymond, you're a heel out there, yeah?
Yeah.
I love that. That's old school, by the way. Grocery store saying, hey, you wear a Cowboys jersey and we'll give you 20% off. I love that. That is awesome. I wish every team had that. You know what I mean, AJ?
Yeah, do you think it brings in more customers to their store?
No, but everybody's getting a good deal. And Jerry Jones is like, yeah, keep on fucking offering those deals so they buy our $400 jerseys. Okay, keep that thing going. But that type of fan base is what every team is looking for. That is why Jerry can say we're going to be in that opening game. Because the way the fan base is, I love that Raymond's like, nah, fuck it. We got pit bulls out here. We got oil fields. And I'm going to be heel out here. I hate this Cowboys.
I think it'd be worth buying a Cowboy shirt to go get 20% off your groceries.
If you're going to shop forever, yeah, because you're always going to need food.
Probably just keep it in your car, too. Hey,
Grocery milk's expensive right now.
Even if you're not a Cowboys fan, by the way, I think you should have a jersey at least.
Or what if I had a white shirt? I get a white T-shirt and I just write Cowboys and a Sharpie on it. Do I get the 20% off?
Has to have the star.
You know, and it also depends which lane you go down. You know, which aisle. Because they say aisle 2, Nancy, she'll fucking anything that basically just says Dallas is good. You go over to lane 4, though, where old Raymond's at, you better fucking, there better be NFL shop stitched on that thing.
That's right.
All right, you're paying full price for these goddamn eggs. Let's go to Wes in Virginia. What's going on, Wes?
Hey, what's up, Pat and the boys? AJ, big shout out. Huge Packers fan. Ty, what's up?
All right. What's going on?
I wanted to express some love for the brand for the kicker out of James Madison. He's in the FCS, and he's a fucking lights out kicker, man.
Yeah, is that right?
14 for 14 last season.
Nice.
He's the next Adam Vinatieri, I think, man. He's going to go pro. He's going to come out of the FCS, and he's going to be a GOAT.
What year is he?
It's his senior year.
Okay, awesome.
He's a game winner his redshirt freshman year in the playoffs.
What's his name?
46-yard game winner. Ethan Ratke.
All right, shout out to Ethan Ratke. Keep it going down there, pal. I appreciate the fact that he has a fan, family, or friend that is sitting right next to him that calls into the show to say that, or it is somebody that is legitimately impressed by his ability and they feel like, hey, this guy needs a little bit more credit. I hope he makes it. It's a long road for anybody. It doesn't matter if you're in the FCS or not. If you can make kicks, they will sign you. Good luck to him. Let's go to Michael in Detroit. Hey, MCDC got them boys humming around on this NFL season. Michael, what do you got going on?
Nothing much. Who cares about the Lions? We're Rams fans. Thank you, Matthew Stafford. You left. You showed us we can leave, too. Thank you, Matthew Stafford.
I remember Michael now. Michael, great to hear from you again. Foxy's kind of similar path, unless the Lions win a couple games. And Stafford's the worst. What do you want to talk about, Michael?
First, shout out to the NFL being back.
Shout out.
Rams Browns Super Bowl prediction. You can just send me the 50,000 now because I know it's gonna get to number 1. And I wanted your thoughts on the WWE plans with Adam Cole.
What's that?
They were planning on making him a manager for Keith Lee.
I heard that. How do we know that's true, though? You know, like I wonder that. And I understand that there's some incredible. Shout out to you, Michael. By the way, and good luck to your Rams. What he's talking about here, you know, is some fans are going to hate to hear this about. But there was a report this morning that Adam Cole, baby, who everybody knows from this show from being a complete scumbag.
Yeah, piece of shit.
Loser.
He broke a microphone that used to be there, chair, pushed Ty, who has colitis, swore at me, and then walked out of here. And then we've had 2, knockdown, drag-out fights since then.
Yeah, that's right.
And those will never stop because he's a terrible person. But there was reports that the reason why and what kind of potentially pushed him over the edge was they wanted him to be a manager for somebody. Now, I don't think I would even be thrilled if I was told to be somebody's manager and I've had 2 matches, okay? I'm not 100% sure if that is something that has actual happened or not, and it might have been something that was floated out, that maybe they're a tag team, that maybe is being reported. I have no idea what's real or not because only like 2 to 3 people really know that answer, but I was also disheartened when I heard that because if he's a manager, I can't kick him in the fucking mouth.
Yeah. Hey, it probably was. Remember what you said yesterday? Don't want to bring the umbrella to the brainstorm party. What if this was just a brainstorm thrown out there and someone blew it up into a bigger deal?
Well, that's wrestling, baby. Especially right now. That's especially right now with how everything's going. It's just like I woke up and read that, and I laughed obviously because he's such a bum that's what they thought. But then I thought to myself, I fucking hope that wasn't the case. I hope that wasn't the final straw because there had to have been something. There had to have been something we could do with that little tiny asshole of a guy.
You think? He's a massive piece of shit. People love to hate him.
Yeah,
so we could have kept him around, maybe.
I agree. But he came out again and
did the whole thing.
He thought he was so cool.
Wasn't.
Danielson's was better.
At least you know the guy's name now.
Hell yeah.
Bro, him walking like this, dude. It is so hilarious. He's got clean shoes now, too. Remember, whenever he and I just started, he would wear those dumpy-ass shoes.
Yeah.
Now he's wearing Jordans out there. And it felt like, the music was still playing while I was going. Could probably stop that as soon as he was going. I'm not doing anything, but it felt like that on Wednesday was maybe even like...
Yeah.
It was.
It was so cold here. Fucking asshole, though.
Yeah.
Should have been a fucking manager for somebody.
Hate him.
All right, we're back in 4 minutes with some phone calls, wrapping up this beautiful NFL regular season kickoff Thursday. Dan Orlovsky will also join us in a few minutes, I think. Can't wait to chat with him. That should be good, maybe. And AJ Hawk. Let's celebrate the hell out of this. We'll see you in 4 minutes. I just saw a picture of you getting out of, I think, a 757 that was from Jim Irsay. What was that, and have you ever been in that plane before?
I thought it was like the team plane to fly all of the Indianapolis Colts. Literally, it's got the logo on it, Pat, and it was awesome. But look, that's just Jim. Pat, I had a wonderful 14 years there. It's obviously the team that I wanted to play for always. I understood the decision he had to make, and no hard feelings, and for him to send his plane to fly me and my son down here, it was a great gesture. A lot of room for me and Marshall. We were throwing the football. Pretty cool experience. Pretty cool father-son weekend.
By the way, as he's moving from event to event right now, you are the best, dude. Where are you headed right now?
I'm going to the game. I got Lynch. I got Faneca. I got these guys in the background.
Boys, congratulations. Yeah. Congratulations, boys. All right, Peyton. Oh, hey, there he is. Marshall, I hope you enjoyed that plane, pal. Hey, Peyton, last thing here. You talking to Tom Brady, you becoming friends with him. It was interesting to watch. Oh, yeah, take the photo. Take the photo. All right, we will wrap this up.
Well, I'll tell you, Pat, I don't think anybody can do what Tom has done. Look, I know how hard it was for me to get on the same page with my receivers, learn a new system, learn new coaches. But I had a full off season. I was injured. I was rehabbing. The fact that Tom has done this in a COVID pandemic off season, no time to meet with his receivers. He met with his coaches illegally by breaking into Byron Leftwich's house. So besides that, it's been incredible what he's been able to accomplish, and he deserves all the credit. His leadership is what's put the Bucs in this game today, and I have great respect for him because I know how hard it is, but he deserves all the credit.
Hey, how did you know Red 18 was coming?
Pat, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you telling that story and just growing the legend. That was about the 18th time I tried it. I was over 17 going into that. And, when it doesn't hit, you just keep walking. Nobody ever really tells you about it. So when it hit, I was as surprised as you were. And the reaction from some of the some of the good old folks there in the casino that night was pretty special.
Well, I appreciate you doing that. You made me and those folks in the casino a bunch of money. Congrats on the Hall of Fame nod. Thank you for spending time. Enjoy yourself at the game, Peyton.
Pat, thanks, pal. I appreciate you.
The Sheriff, Hall of Famer, Peyton Manning.
Can we take a moment of silence for the first 2 to 3 years of Zach Wilson's career? Because all he's got going for him is Bob Saleh. That's it.
Moment of silence for his mom, who made her Instagram That's what I thought we were doing.
That's what I thought we were doing. Let's go to Chris and Indy. What's going on? Mrs. Wilson, hope everything's all right.
Yeah, she jumped out there, right, with some hot takes, and then
She got a fake mask she wears.
She
AJ.
does not like Hooers.
Not a fan of Disney.
She doesn't like
Or
Disney
Snapchat.
or Hooers.
Oh, there's going to be a bunch of Hoovers running around Zach. She said enough of it. Not on that Snapchat.
Every day is game day for these guys. It's showtime on the Pat McAfee Show.
Welcome back to that show. Hour 3 wrapping up. We got to call AJ. We got captivated by a news story that is making its rounds on the internet. I believe we can call this breaking alleged news. Andre Swift, running back for the Detroit Lions, formerly of the University of Georgia Bulldogs. They called him Philly when he was at the University of Georgia. I only know that because when I was at the SEC championship game watching the University of Georgia with Georgia fans who did bark at a very passionate level, anytime he got the rock, they said, let's go Philly, let's go Philly, let's go Philly. Now an alleged report is coming out of Philly that Andre Swift potentially was involved in a situation that ended up with him killing somebody. Now, the full report is obviously alleged. There is a lot of holes in a lot of people's arguments. It all started from a tweet from a guy named David Krug, I believe, K-R-U-G-E. He said he called Philadelphia Police Department. Investigators told him that they got an anonymous tip that implied that Andre Swift was potentially involved in a situation where somebody ended up being shot and killed. Now, who knows what the speculation will run. The police department in Philly said that he is not currently under investigation at all. He is practicing for the Detroit Lions. Yep. I tried to scan through the internet, as did Bruce and the other boys. I guess the alleged situation occurred around the 4th of July where somebody tried to rob Andre Swift, and in doing so, Andre defended himself, and this guy potentially ended up dead. Who knows what is real, what is not real? We're just telling you what is on the internet right now. Andre Swift is coming out of practice with the Detroit Lions, going to his locker. Hey, boys, NFL regular season starting today. This is awesome. Goes to his locker, maybe turns on some music. I don't know how it is. Opens his phone, sees himself trending, going, I didn't fucking kill anybody. This is crazy. I don't know how we haven't heard about this since now, especially if it was allegedly in July. Who knows what's fake? Who knows what's real? But obviously, this is a massive ordeal that an NFL player is on the internet being said that he potentially killed somebody. Sounds like it's self-defense, but if you dig a little bit deeper in the stories, and maybe the Philadelphia Police Department will come out and say that. Maybe this didn't happen at all. This is going to have to be addressed by somebody. AJ Hawk joins us back again. AJ, I know you're not really on the internet as much unless you're trying to find as toxic things as possible. This feels like something you would know about. Have you read about this? Have you heard about this? This is wild, dude.
This is all news to me. Hearing it, it is absolutely wild. So if something happened on July 4th, I don't know how we wouldn't hear about it until now, especially if somebody died.
Bingo. And I think all information in this story, it's the internet, so we have to understand that maybe there's some truth in something, maybe there isn't. This is going to have to get addressed. There's no way this is what the NFL wanted to be talked about, though, on regular season kickoff Thursday.
No, definitely not. But it also, this feels like the type of thing, this would never fall through the cracks in the NFL. We would hear about this eventually. There's just, especially, like you said, if it was around the 4th of July, like that's a long time to pass where we didn't have anything to talk about.
You're telling me Schefter, Rappaport, Pelissero, Mortensen.
And he's the starting running back for the Lions. Yeah. Like, a complete rebuild. He's one of the guys that they're like, pushing behind. Like we would have definitely heard about this.
I think so too, but that is happening here on this NFL kickoff Thursday, and we can't thank you enough for watching and listening wherever you may be. If the story is real, like I think this solidifies the fact, like some people ain't gonna be about your shit. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna go try rob somebody, maybe you end up dead. You know what I mean? And listen, if that story is accurate, I'm not 100% sure. And maybe the Philadelphia Police Department is like, he's not under investigation because we already did the investigation. Yeah. Turns out he was in a bad spot, and maybe it wasn't even a real thing at all. I wish the Philadelphia Police Department would have elaborated a little bit to David Krug, but the police department doesn't have to do that, and there's probably legalities around the entire thing.
Yeah, like you just said, like if this did happen in July, we would have heard about it if they hadn't done an investigation, or if they did do an investigation and already kind of cleared everything that happened, that it was self-defense and he was being robbed.
Anyways, I've heard he's flying around up there in Detroit.
Oh, yeah. Looking good.
He's one of our only playmakers, so hopefully everything's okay.
The only.
We hope everybody's okay, by the way. Obviously, except unless you try to rob somebody and then something happens. I mean,
kind of asking for.
Well, I don't want anybody to die ever.
No, never want to do that.
Maybe a good left, sternum shot, and then an overhand right down. You know what I mean? And then maybe a stomp. I saw a video, AJ. It was in Russian. I had to translate the caption. And it seemed to be a boxing god, and he was stating how I think I couldn't understand what he was saying. Obviously, I don't speak the language, but he was doing the sternum with the left hand, overhand right, and he just did it like 10 straight times. And then they cut to a video of a Russian fighter doing it, killed a guy, and I was just wondering, did I crack the code on boxing? You tell me in virtual reality, I'm not 100% sure. It's my only move. It's my only combo.
I cannot wait until you get your first celebrity boxing match set up. I will be there in your corner if you need me.
I would need you in my corner, by the way. Anytime you can have that jawline standing behind you, you're going to do that. That's why I gave you a call, obviously, whenever Adam Cole did despicable things in this particular office, and I had to go fight him. I said, hey, is there any way you could potentially come, just in case his little friends pop off a little bit, let him know that, hey, we got a jawline here that don't quit, pal. All right, here's the deal. And in the end, you said you became friends with them somehow, which is ridiculous. I would never bring you. I would never bring you if I went into an actual boxing thing. Never.
I mean, as long as you're not boxing Adam Cole, I'm there. I'll be there.
I don't know if I'm boxing anybody, by the way. I've yet to. I said it, 4 or 5 years from now, maybe.
Yeah. AJ would be chumming up with the opponent.
Bro, he's been training for like 3-4 years. He throws hands. There's no way.
You're an athlete. You're going to beat all those golfers that have been training their whole life.
It's different.
Golfing is much different.
Physical combat.
For what my brain is already wired for success of doing, which is repeating a very monotonous thing over and over and over again. So I have great success that's going to happen. Now, virtual reality boxing, all the reviews say this is very similar to real life. I think it might be a bit different whenever there is maybe a little bit of fear that somebody can knock you the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I will find that out years from now, okay? And Jake Paul will probably be champion of the world at that point, and who knows what that is. But if I ever do a celebrity boxing thing, I would like to say that I would love to have you in my corner, but the way you've acted with the Adam Cole and the whole thing since then, I don't think you're the right guy, to be honest with you.
Okay, well, hopefully Trump and his son will commentate whenever you do box, like he is for Evander Holyfield and Vitor Belfort.
How's that going to go, bud? What is that all about?
4 fights. They're doing 4 fights together.
That's a long time. What if those things go 5-6 rounds? I mean,
Dahn.
Did you see Evander's workout, his open workout?
What's that? No, I didn't know. To be honest, the only thing I knew about this fight was whenever they had big President Dahn sitting there and his son, and they're like commentating all night. And I thought it was the internet. I thought it was like an internet thing.
Photoshop.
Yeah, I thought it was and then it became a real thing. It's not easy, I don't think, to commentate that stuff. I'm sure that'll just be about boxing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely. Well, and everyone knows Trump knows the sweet science front to back, so he'll be able to really dive into the intricacies of the match itself.
Well, I believe the Trump casinos were hosting boxing events for a long time. He's seen a lot of these fights.
Oh yeah,
he's seen a lot. So they said, listen, this is who we want watching this fight. That's what they said with that, right?
Exactly.
That's basically what they said.
We got a lot of people.
Hey, here is who we want. This is what we're doing. We're going to have open mic on the former president. He'll talk strictly boxing. His son also as well. And then there'll be a couple guys fighting in the middle of there, the whole thing. I'm sure that's exactly what they want.
It's on Triller, too. I think Triller's doing it.
I mean, I'm tuning in.
Is Mount Westmore performing?
I don't. If it's like that, if it's a spectacle like it was before, man.
Toby Keith is
Yeah, I also think AJ's good friend Bob is making an appearance as well.
Who, General Bob?
No, Bob in Detroit.
Oh, all right. Not you. You're in the studio.
I'm just saying.
Bob
that's-
Backlund?
No, not Bob Backlund. Shout out Bob Backlund.
Shout out.
I think what he's talking about is your toxic shit you were trying to shoehorn in yesterday, thinking that the NFL was going to be selling Bob Ritchie shirts for $50 today. No, it's Ed Sheeran performing. And no, I don't know if, to be honest, I don't know if Bob is performing at that boxing match.
I thought Trump reached out.
Let's go to Matt in Idaho. Jesus Christ, what is your? That's him. All right, he's not
I'm
in the
just
building.
saying. That's what I genuinely thought that he was one of the performers.
Let me guess. Matt Damon's one of the fights. Is that what you're going to?
Matt Damon wouldn't go near that place unless Dahn calls him. You never know.
All right, let's go to Matt in Idaho. What's going on, Matt?
Hey, not much. How's it going?
Not too shabby. What's going on in Idaho, dude?
Nothing. Just waiting for sports betting to someday fucking get here.
Does it seem likely? I don't know anything about Idaho's politics or anything about it. Nobody really talks about Idaho, to be honest. I think people in Idaho like that nobody talks about Idaho. But does it seem like that's something that might come or not?
I doubt it.
That
It
sucks.
seems like, I mean, not throwing any shade here, but
Arizona. Sorry.
seems like the Mormons got a stranglehold like they do in Utah.
Really? I didn't know the Mormons ran wild over there. Storming Mormons are in Idaho, too. I didn't
Are
know
there
that.
casinos out there?
On the reservations, there's casinos, but
Oh, if there's
in southern
reservations, you're
Idaho-
good. If there's reservations, you're good. We saw it down in Florida.
Yes.
If you're, I think.
Yeah, but
Go ahead.
oh, sorry. There's, they're like really spread out. Like I can only think of two, and they're both in northern Idaho.
That's Idaho.
All right. Well, Matt, what do you want to talk about, pal?
I just got a question about why Mac Jones got so much hate before the draft. Do you think it had anything to do with that Obama picture he was tagged in, where allegedly he's in a costume depicting Obama and it says "No Obama" on it?
Potentially. Thank you, Matt. I mean, there's all types of things that could potentially have happened. He also got arrested, I think, for public intoxication.
Yeah.
But then once it came out that he was going to be the number 3 overall pick, everybody started actually singing his praises. I think it came back the other way. One of the people who was dancing on this guy's success, so much so that he actually put the New England Patriots and Mac Jones as quarterback as a better offense going into the season than Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Ladies and gentlemen of ESPN Get Up fame, NFL Live host, First Take, and going to be on your TV 7 to 8 hours a day for the next 5 months, and we are thankful for it. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Orlovsky. Yeah! Boy, Dane, backwards hat, you look cool, dude.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks, you. It's more because I got this coif of a hair that I'm trying not to look so stupid with.
Oh, your hair's terrible. That's a shame. We're coming into the season. Now's Dan Orlovsky season. The hair's got to be good. What's going on?
Missed a haircut appointment today. Put it in the schedule.
Yeah, busy day. It's NFL kickoff day, Dan. It's NFL kickoff. Let's dive right into what you said on Get Up, because as soon as I saw the graphic make its way onto Twitter, I sent it to you and I said, oh, the ESPN execs told you to say something stupid so that there'd be good reaction from it. You said no. You said your top 5 offenses, by the way, I think these are incredible offenses. You said Chiefs, Bucks, Bills, Browns, Patriots, I believe. Is that right?
Bucks, Bills, yeah.
Okay, so there's no Aaron Rodgers there. Okay, there's there, which makes no sense to me. I just because they only put pictures of the quarterbacks. Whenever you put Mac Jones over top of Aaron Rodgers, immediately people are going to say, "Oh, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about." Why did you say these things? And what are your expectations of Mac Jones, especially pre-draft, post-draft, and then now after seeing him perform?
Yeah, I didn't rank the quarterbacks. I ranked the offenses. I didn't make the graphics. So whoever put the pictures there, I have no idea. I didn't know they were going to put a graphic of the quarterbacks there. So if I had to rank the quarterbacks, Aaron would certainly be in the top 5.
Kind of did.
When I did this segment, I said, okay, I look at football completely different than 99% of the people who have for 40 years. I'm not going to rank an offense just because they got a great quarterback. Okay. I said that there was criteria that had to be met to be in my top 5. Number 1, you had to have a proven offensive scheme and play caller. Number 2, you had to have a proven offensive line. Number 3, you had to have weapons. And number 4, then it was about the quarterback. So that's why, number 1, Kansas City checks every one of those boxes. Number 2, you also had to use motion a ton. Number 2, Tampa Bay checks all those boxes, even so in the motion use. Buffalo is the only one that didn't check the motion usage, but I think Josh Allen is that special with Dable, keeping Dable. 4, Cleveland checked every single box. Now, the reason why I put New England at 5 is I think New England's going to have a top 5 offensive line in football. Josh McDaniels is one of the best play callers in football. I think that everyone's looking for a singular star in their offense. Randy Moss, Rob Gronkowski. It's not those guys. It's their offensive line is the star. Everyone else just has to be a piece. If you look at Aguilar, Bourne, Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, and James White, if you just take their career averages, they're going to average about 320 catches as a group. That's going to be really, really good offensive football. So I think Mac Jones is going to be fantastic because they're not going to ask him to do a lot because their run game and offensive line will be so great. So why didn't I put Green Bay in there? Is that your question?
I mean, you said a lot there. I just found out that I have to give somebody $50,000 at the end of the season because we're now trending number 1. I mean, there's a lot happening here while you're talking about Mac Jones because David Bakhtiari is not playing for the first 6 weeks, being better than the NFC Championship appearing Green Bay Packers offense back-to-back years, going into a 3rd year with Matt LaFleur. I mean, could you please tell me, and thanks to everybody, by the way, PMS Superb Hour, predictions trending number 1. Sure, ESPN will do something like that today. Dan, the thought about it is, how do you not have Aaron Rodgers in that thing? I don't care. You said he's number 4. It's Aaron Rodgers, dude. He's the MVP. You did that on purpose, I think, right? You had to have done it.
I'm not ranking the quarterbacks. If I was ranking the quarterbacks, I would have put them in there. Again, I prefaced my comment, Pat, by saying I don't look at offenses strictly through the vacuum lens of who's the quarterback. I'm not going to do that. I didn't put the Seattle Seahawks in there because it's a first-time play caller. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. That's a big question mark. I like Shane Waldron. He comes from a great scheme. We'll see how it goes. Being a really good coach and being a really good play caller are different things. I didn't put the Tennessee Titans in there strictly for the same thing. They lost Arthur Smith. We'll see how Todd Downing does. I love Todd. I know Todd. I hope he's great. But we'll see how it plays out on the field. I didn't put Green Bay in there because everyone's going, how could you put an offense led by a rookie quarterback in there? You mentioned Bakhtiari not being there for 6 weeks. That means they will have 3 new starting positions on the offensive line for 6 weeks. 2 of those guys are going to be rookies. You know, Josh Myers and Royce Newman, it sounds like, are going to be the 2 starters. That's a big deal, dude. Like, that's a big deal. And so I just want to see how that kind of plays itself out. That's all.
Dan, you listed like your criteria when you were trying to rank these offenses, and I think you said the quarterback was like 4th or 5th. Don't you think, like, at least in my eyes, I feel like if you don't have your quarterback, you don't have anyone. You can have all the best line and everything. You could be average, you could be a good team, but you're not going to be great without a franchise QB, I feel like.
No, those are, like, that's a fair point, but I would come back to you with this. Baker Mayfield 2 years ago sucked in people's eyes, right? In 2019, he sucked. What was the fundamental big change in their offense personnel-wise between 19 and 20? A massive upgrade on the offensive line. 3 years ago, Ryan Tannehill sucked. He was a huge bust. What's the fundamental difference talent-wise or personnel-wise that Ryan Tannehill did to Miami in comparison to in Tennessee for the last 2.5 years? His offensive line, his skill position players, the scheme that he's been in. So I get it. The whole, you can't become a great offense without a really good quarterback. I view Mac Jones probably a lot more highly player-wise than a lot other people do. That's a factor into this. But that's kind of, I just don't see it as just we got a great quarterback.
We just wanted to make sure that we weren't going into the season with you just sending out, like, just, you know what I mean? Like, it's nice to know that you do have, you know, legitimate reasons behind it. I thought this was potentially like old Trollofsky, you know what I mean? Like, just trying to troll out there and say your things. So before, we got to get out of here in a couple minutes. Last question here for you. This is your fault, not mine. It's not, we got a hard out, pal. It's NFL regular season kickoff, dude. Tonight, 9.5 is the spread, okay? That seems to be only going up right now. Do you see it like how we all see it? This seems like a Buccaneers buzzsaw hitting the Dallas guy. I think Cowboys are going to be good, but this feels like this is the Buccaneers game to show out for the Buccaneers fans in front of them for the first time. Tom wants to be undefeated, so he'll give up a couple. Are you seeing this game going the same way we are, which is like, hey, this is probably going to be a rot?
It's not a single thing that they can rely on and think they're going to have success. And I thought of this today because if you go back to the 2019 season, December, Dak Prescott's got that shoulder injury that got progressively worse. Dak has played healthy 4 football games essentially in almost 2 calendar years. You know, that is a that's a big ask for him to. I think for Dallas to win, he's got to play one of his best games ever, and I just think that's a big ask coming off of kind of what has happened this offseason. So they're not going to win, but him getting reps tonight is going to be good for them going into November and December.
What do you guys got on NFL Live at 4:00?
I think we're going to talk about the Cowboys. That would be shocking. Cowboys, I think we're going to do that 2 or 3 times. We'll do Baltimore a little bit. I think we're talking Seattle and their offense. I'm going to do a couple tape demonstrations on what to look forward to tonight. So
Here we go.
Okay.
All right, we appreciate you. We can't wait to watch. Thank you for making time in your incredibly busy day. Good luck this season. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, bud.
Dan Orlovsky. So Dan says a lot of things that we don't necessarily say. Dan, that's a smart thing to come out of your mouth of anybody, but like him on our side does make me feel good. You know what I mean? Because he has watched all of the film to create these takes that he has, AJ.
I say it all the time. Like, Dan doesn't just throw things out there. He thinks about it and before he puts anything out. So yeah, even the oatmeal cookie situation. I'm sure he's been studying that one his whole life too.
Yeah, I wonder about his parents a lot with a lot of his tweets.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, he literally said, "I don't put flavor on my food. I've never done it before."
Yeah.
He's never heard of Lowry's.
Like pepper?
Like nothing.
Yeah. What is
like
that?
anything? He just never has done it. And then I don't understand how he got through a locker room with the way he is, but Dan Orlovsky's an anomaly. He's great on television. Just like Chris Mad Dog Russo, who'll be on the other side of this 6-minute break on Sirius XM Channel 82 Mad Dog Sports Radio. AJ Hawk. Tomorrow's a good feel-good Friday coming in hot. Anything to say to the Sirius XM listeners before we bid them adieu?
Hopefully Mad Dog has the same Super Bowl predictions that I do.
What's that?
You know my pick.
What is it? Chiefs Packers?
Chiefs Packers, yeah. Your pick that you had, but you jumped off it because you didn't want to be with me.
You stole mine. We're back tomorrow. Enjoy yourselves. Is that somebody peeing?
Glass being poured.
Or pee. Only savages will pee on the bar. Welcome to PMS After Hours. How you doing?
Who does that?
Some guy we knew did it one time.
Paddlebags.
It was an aggressive decision. It actually was not Haddlebags, but I'll tell you what, the person that did it got a lot of flack early, but then celebrated later.
Yeah. Looking back.
Yeah, I will say that person did get celebrated. AJ, I don't know what I'm going to do for the next, 5 hours? Like, what am I? What are we doing here?
Just scroll through bets.
I guess, yeah, just try to dive through and listen to Hammer Down and all the bets you guys have on the FanDuel Sportsbook or whatever. And I really like the fact that my Super Boost might end up being better spread than what everybody else is going to get. And it's at plus 150 on FanDuel. That's massive for us. Orlovsky talking about how I can't find one position group where they're better than the.
There's not.
That's real. Mm-hmm. Maybe who's kicking for the Bucks?
The Bucks or the Cowboys wideouts may be better than the Bucks secondary, but.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Bucks wideouts. I was about to say Diggs, jokes. All right, Diggs, we're joking, all right? Because, I mean, Godwin being all the way back is good. That was a foregone conclusion. We could power through that. I mean, the depth of the Buccaneers is the problem.
Yeah, because I guess you could say maybe running back with Zeke, but the Bucks have a 3-headed monster. So, they got Rojo, they got Fournette, they got Bernard.
But
offensive line, I guess.
Zeke's going up against the Bucks defense. And that running back group is going up with the Dallas defense, which is not an advantage for Dallas.
I hope they do an interview with Jerry Jones at some point during this game if this thing gets ugly. I've been saying it all fucking week. It's a David versus Goliath. This is a problem. I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to do the game. Ed Sheeran, you see him? He sang his song, so I was part of that. I wonder how this is going to go for Cowboys fans. Because this is the first time in a long time, right? That normally everybody buys into the Cowboys hype.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Normally everybody's like in. Even me. Cowboys were supposed to draft me. They did not draft me. I could, with my level of pettiness, hate them forever. Yeah. Instead, when I listen and how Jerry has constructed the team and everything they do down there, and then you see the roster, I buy into the Cowboys like yearly. In this particular, it's like, it just feels like they are going to get fucking stomped tonight. It really does feel like that.
No Zach Martin, everyone, the team themselves says that's their best player, so he's not there. You got Shaq Barrett.
Let's not overthink it.
No, not at all.
We got to stop doing it. I actually think that we need to not do the show much longer because I'm going to get to the point where it's like, is this a fucking layup right now?
You talk yourself into taking the fucking boys.
No, I'm not. I would
it.
never do that. I would never do that. What I do know now, though, is because of the incredible people that watch and listen to this show, I have to give somebody $50,000 now if they
maybe who knows? Maybe no one gets it.
It's true.
Something to think about.
That's a good point.
You're right. You're right. Mm-hmm. Some Texans are going to go on a run.
Then what?
Good.
Texans, Eagles.
Football team.
Someone will have it. Someone will definitely have it.
Somebody will have a football team in there. For sure, somebody will have a football team in there.
Yeah, will they have the other side right?
Can you make multiple predictions?
Nope.
You can make burner accounts though, right?
Yeah. We're beating Matrix.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
Take that, Morpheus.
I want to let you know, this is really cool. Now, it did cost me a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is going to cost a lot of money.
True.
But if you look up there, too, there's another sports book, I think, promoting themselves.
Huh.
Oh.
That's interesting.
Go down. Oh.
Natural. Interesting.
Hey, I know you talked about like promoted tweets, Pat, and how there just seems like there's a bunch of them. I know I was texting you this, though. Whenever I watch YouTube, there's way more commercials now. Did something happen to my algorithm, or did they change things?
I'm not sure. I have heard that from people. Mine is still the same as it used to be. I think mine shit is always the late. Like, for instance, Instagram, I guess, has changed, or Twitter has changed completely, and Instagram has changed completely with the way you share things, and Twitter has changed almost into an Instagram like feed, I guess, with photos taking up the entire thing. I don't have any of those. My YouTube is still the same, but I have heard that from a lot of people. I've heard that from a lot of people.
Like any video I have, it's like it pops up the thing, ad will play in 5 seconds, and it does that multiple times for like an 8-minute video.
My big thing is like, and this is going to sound hilarious probably with the next deal that we signed, but like how much money is enough money for like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like YouTube's bringing in multiple $1 billion a year just in their AdSense for just YouTube videos, let alone everything else Google is doing. It's like, do we have to just completely boom, pow, pang? Like Twitter was getting to the point there where it's like, yo, come on, you are ruining.
They're public, right?
Huh?
YouTube and Google are public, so you always have to increase that for your shareholders. You have to show growth.
I guess, but don't you think that kind of like almost runs people off?
Yeah, I think it's. Yeah, I don't like that whole model of how it works, but that's how it goes.
Now, granted, I have FanDuel over my shoulder and it's up there and everything like that, but I'm just saying I feel like it doesn't really change the flow of our show. Like Twitter, whenever it was every other tweet was a promoted tweet, and it wasn't big company tweets. There was even like some basic ass, small, terrible Twitter accounts that were like, "Oh, we just need more people to see us," and they were promoting their tweets, and it was like. No, like Twitter's getting much worse here for me all of a sudden because terrible shit's getting in there. I wonder if Twitter read that too and kind of changed it a little bit. I wonder if that's the case.
I don't know. It seems like the only stuff I get promoted anymore are for sports books and then like, the occasional like Discover, like MasterCard or whatever. But like a lot of those, like some blog sites would just have like like the clickbait bullshit, like a BuzzFeed article almost. Those used to get promoted all the time, and I almost never see those anymore. So I wonder if they did kind of hear about it and were like, all right, get this shit
You know
out
how
of here.
they listen to us every day? Like, I wonder if my phone has heard me bitch so much when I'm like by myself scrolling, get this the fuck out of here. All right, this is a guy we can't be fucking with. Right?
Change it.
Like, maybe everybody just needs to complain to their phone a little bit more while they're doing it, and that'll really change some things. Because then, King Algorithm or whatever, Algorithm will maybe hear it and change some things for
right.
you.
And he really hears it all.
I might be wrong, but can't you pay monthly to get those YouTube ads out of there? Or is that not a thing?
Yeah, YouTube Red, you get premium or whatever.
And then I assume Twitter will probably do
you
that.
can,
Instagram will probably do that.
Everybody's looking to become a subscription service so they can just rake another $10 out of everybody a month.
Yeah.
Every time I log on to YouTube, it asks me if I want to.
The auto pay thing has become such a weapon for all these companies.
Yeah, just forget
Hey, come on in. Come on in. $5, fucking A, your coffee. Come on. Come on. And then bang, we got another 1 million people for $5 a month. That's another $5 million a year. The CMO, whoever made the idea, is now a genius, getting promoted, payments happening, and then that money's just coming forever because people aren't going to go in there and check every single time unless they get that one app. What was that one app? Truebill?
Yeah.
No, is that who marketed with us?
It was either Truebill or it wasn't Gabby because that was insurance.
There was some company, though, that we did marketing with, and I thought it was a great company. I thought we'd do well, and they kind of just disappeared. I don't know if they got bought out, but that was an incredible weapon.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're paying, blah, blah, blah. And they were the ones that also told me about the country clubs, too, that I was a member of.
Yep.
Well, especially, too, when you get those emails from these subscription services like, hey, it's going to be $7.99 next month. That'll be the going rate going forward.
And you know who started doing this was cell phone companies.
Yeah.
Cell phone companies, because they knew nobody was really reading their thing, they would just add on some service fee that everybody has to get for $2.99, and all of a sudden $2.99 to each individual person, not that much, but you get 15 million people paying $2.99 a month. Like that is boom. That's what all these subscription services are trying to do.
That's all they care about. I mean, look at ESPN Plus. All they're doing is trying to gain like subscribers. That's all you do.
Yeah, they're doing the bundle now, obviously, with Don Batista and the Disney bundle and everything. All they're trying to do is somehow splash you on there so that then they can auto pay you to death.
Peacock week 1 or this week for Notre Dame, their first home game, they're not having it on TV, so that you have to subscribe to Peacock to watch.
Hey, you know, there's Notre Dame fans. We've done a lot for those motherfuckers. Make them come over here.
Get him in.
Make them in now. They have money, right? Irish Catholic, all those sons of bitches. Make them come in here. $4.99, they'll pay for watching a Notre Dame team. Brian Kelly said last week, maybe kill the team. So if they even show up to the game, they'll be surprised. Fucking get them in here, $5.99. Drew Brees is calling that?
Yeah, him and Tirico.
Can't wait.
Hey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so he is doing the game. I thought Flutie was still doing it.
No, you got to go to the Cock.
Okay.
Peacock.
So go to the Cock on Saturday. Who do they play?
Toledo.
Big game.
Rocket Man!
Beautiful.
Hey, when does old Ed Sheeran play?
Tonight.
Will it only be 1 song, 2 songs, 3 songs, multiple songs?
Probably 3 or more.
Normally they like do a song, and then they go back to the coverage, and then they'll throw to him on the stage again.
And he just does a full concert. So he just does a full concert, I'd assume, and then they cut back and forth at different times. He knows when they're coming, and they're just paying him for a full concert.
Probably.
Sounds the most sense.
I doubt it's a full concert. Maybe he may play for an hour.
What's the song I love of Ed Sheeran?
He has a bunch of good. Have you ever?
Bangers. I love
I went to his
it.
show. I went to his show at a sold out amphitheater and realized, oh, he's the only guy. He does it all.
Yeah, and he'll even loop. He'll even start doing
That's
looping.
all he does is loop the whole
Thinking
time.
out
It's just
loud.
him on stage and his little looping pedals.
That's my go-to.
Thinking Out Loud is a good one. There's one.
Galway Girl's good.
Galway Girl's great. I've been to Galway, by the way. It's like they're New Orleans over there. It is fucking awesome. She fell in love with an English guy, right? I mean,
Yeah. Does Connor know that one?
Yeah, I know that one well.
Oh, because I knew with your like baritone voice, you'd be good at singing that.
Oh, fuck you, dude.
Okay, my bad. I won't compliment you anymore, Connor.
Yeah, it's about time.
There was one. It's about time. There was one that I was listening
good
to.
bath time video.
I spent
Connor's bath time.
hey. That was I didn't hear it at first. Obviously,
Is
I
the
just
camera
saw
on your
it.
foot?
Yeah, that's a great question.
No, it's not.
That'd be sweet.
I
So
cannot reveal that.
Someone's filming you?
I can't reveal that.
Is it on your?
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Bro,
part of the allure.
You need to get a fucking.
I know it's in the mail.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good, because we couldn't see the teaser.
I know.
Teaser.
Believe me, it took me like 50 minutes just to kind of figure out where to put it.
I love bath talk though. I absolutely enjoy the hell out of it.
Baths are very nice too. I think everyone should take more baths.
Oh, here we go. Shape of You, Ed Sheeran.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm in love with the shape of you. Push and pull like a magnet too.
Yeah, he's.
I'm in love with your body.
Yeah, that's a heater. That's on the playlist. I'll listen to that. Like, that used to be an every morning thing. That has been moved out, but it is a once a week type thing. That's one of my favorite things to do while I'm taking my morning grump. I'll go to my playlist and I'll set my cue. You're like, let me line up the cue.
Yeah, of course.
Q-U-E-U-E, by the way. And then I'll turn on, I'll connect the Bluetooth. And when that thing comes on, it's like, all right, here we go. And then I press play, and I'm like in a movie almost. It's like, all right, here we go. Let's have a day. Hop in the shower. And Ed Sheeran was a massive part of that for a few months there during the COVID quarantine thing. So I appreciate him. I hope he plays heaters, because some of these people will take his opportunity to introduce new songs. And let's assume Ed will make another banger, and his next song's probably a banger, but fucking play the hits, pal.
He did just have an album come out, didn't he, not too long ago?
See, exactly, and I've not listened to any of those songs.
So they'll play one of them. Like
He
when
had
he
a
plays
collab
one of the
album.
new songs, they'll definitely show at least one on air, and then they'll probably show like 2 of his hits.
I hope so.
He's got more than 2.
He's got one with the Jonas Brothers now. That's good. I
Didn't
think.
Kendrick open up?
By the way, love the Jonas Brothers. Yeah, he was running around. The stage was like a big one.
Oh, yeah.
I do remember that.
That was sweet.
That was sweet.
Who?
The NHL always fucks it up, right? The NHL always does
No,
stupid.
They always have like Goo Goo Dolls, something like that. It's
Yeah, if you
awesome.
call the Goo Goo Dolls fucking it up.
They're awesome.
Yeah, they always do.
Saw them in Detroit
And
You saw the Goo Goo Dolls?
during a Packers-Lions game. I was playing it. Yeah.
Oh, at halftime. Nice. All right, so I guess I could say that I saw Trace Adkins, Carrie Underwood. I mean,
whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trace Adkins sang the national anthem down in Tennessee. Oh, say can you see? It was a deep son of a
Are you
bitch.
doing that Sunday?
The national anthem?
Yeah.
No, they won't let me do it.
Isn't he like 6'9"?
Big guy. His ponytail too goes right to his.
He got caught up a little bit too.
Crack.
What?
Hey, Jay.
I just know he had something going on back in the day.
Dude.
I didn't know that. Honestly did not
What
know
are you
that.
talking about?
I think he's come through the other side and he's okay now.
He's come through the other side like crusty socks. Have we decided what you guys are doing with the pod, by the way?
Talks the table has to decide.
Thought it was 3.
What's going on with the pod? I don't understand.
So the pod, there was a conversation that was had about maybe the pod going down to 1 a week because with Hammered Down every single day, this show every single day, like the pod, they love doing the pod, but it's tough on Thursdays with Thursday Night Football and everything else going on. Like, hey, maybe during the season, you guys get a little bit more rest. Maybe you're at home. Maybe they'll make everything else better that is potentially profitable for the company, you know what I mean, and everything like that. And that conversation that was just kind of leaked out there, I went into a call. I came out of the call and I heard the pod leading off, and it was Ty doing a State of the Union going, we're going down to 1 starting fucking today, by the way. And I was like, I did not know we made that decision. So obviously I came in, and then Krusty Sock said in the comment section yesterday of the fire alarm video, he said, is it a coincidence that you guys go down to 1 pod and then all of a sudden the studio catches on fire? Huh. And I'm like, good point. Good point. So, because I love the pod too. I actually, and Foxy, we're like, maybe go to 3, maybe go to 1, depending upon what you do. Don't want to do status quo because how much we love it. But the decision was made, I guess, without me and Foxy's real final approval. And now I'm wondering, maybe they need to do 3, 4 a week. But it's going to be tough. I think your families are going to be a little bit upset about that.
Well, like I said, ultimately, Pat, we'll do whatever you and the fans want. But listen, you ain't going to hear anyone bitching about doing 1 a week.
AJ, this office obviously operates much differently than a lot of other offices, okay? So I was just, it was, nobody brings an umbrella to a brainstorm, and I was thinking to myself, like, because doing the pod is at like the end of the day every day. It's like the end of the day every day because obviously Hammered Down happens, this show happens, this show gets cut up into a pod that gets put out, Hammered Down does the same thing. There's like a lot of shit popping off and happening. And then at the end of the day, they're like, all right, now we got to go do the pod. And I think they all enjoy it so much, but I was trying to be like, hey, maybe you guys take that thing down, because football season's about to be very long and there's about to be a lot of shit that's going on. And there was no conversation had when I threw that out there at all. Like there was no reaction at all. And then I left. And then literally I came back 7 minutes later, 8 minutes later, and they were doing the show. And it was, don't want to say this, but it's starting right fucking now. We were doing no more. And I was like, okay. So a decision was made. Okay. And I'm thankful you guys, by the way, made that decision for yourselves. There's some noise. There has been a lot of noise. The pod fans are some of my favorite groups of people. I actually consider myself one of the pod fans. So whenever old Cumsock said that thing, I'm like, I'm not happy about it either. Foxy has mocked them for their work ethic, obviously. This has now become something that Foxy is talking about. But I think this is going to be better for everybody's health going forward through the whole season. And I appreciate the fact that you guys did agree to yesterday that once the off season starts, right back to 3 times a week. And that's really nice of you guys.
2 times a week.
What's that?
What?
3 times a
vlog every week.
Nick just muted Foxy. That was unbelievable.
I don't know. I'm still learning this thing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So I think in the offseason, you guys will go back to 2 times a week, though. This seems like the right decision. This is us thinking for the future here. And we never do this. This is something we never, ever do. But I feel like this is a little bit of forethought. Don't you think, AJ?
Yeah, nice. Good thing you have a fork to demonstrate your point. But hold on, real quick though. What was old Mr. Cumsock saying when he says the fire alarm went off the same day? Like what, it's a sign you shouldn't do it?
Yes, the universe. Like, is it the first time the entire place potentially burns down and gets completely distracted? Just so happens to be one day after the announcement that the pod's going down to 1. Like, is this a coincidence? And I couldn't, to be honest, like old tube sock cum guy. Like I as soon as I read it, I'm like, I believe in the universe sending messages. Mm-hmm. I am a massive believer in that. One of the biggest in the history. So I actually said to Foxy, I'm like, maybe this guy's right. And then Foxy obviously was on my side.
I just love the pod so much.
No, you don't listen to
Love it so much, you're never on it anymore. We ask you all the time, Foxy.
I'm just always editing videos or something.
5 minutes, come in and make us laugh, Foxy.
Just laugh, dude.
Even try and provoke you. Call you a tall, skinny, stupid stooge. You never come in.
Yeah, well, he can't listen because he's so plugged in. He's coding. You know what I mean?
The nice thing too was that everyone got to hear the full discussion that was had.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be some edit points that were not edited, and it just the entire conversation was out there.
It's hard to edit when you're fucking floating around space.
What should have been edited out?
I think they were trying to potentially pawn blame off maybe on me on this thing and the future of the company.
No.
Yeah, I think that, but from the way I was listening to it, I mean, the State of the Union was distressed about this decision.
We were deciding if it should be done immediately or next week. That was supposed to.
And Mitt didn't cut any of that out and just made us all look like a bunch of dipshits. So, but hey,
do you guys give Mitt do you write down times that you want edited out of the pod usually?
No, I would assume, yeah. I mean, this is...
And that usually happens?
Well, and there might even be, I would assume during the show, too, like, hey, edit this, dump this type thing. And it's like, NFL football is tomorrow. Fuck you guys said it. Let it ride. 1 a week for the football season. I'm happy we've come full circle here in 3 hours and 12 minutes or whatever. You guys happy about this or really upset?
I don't know how to feel.
You guys were really distraught because in the end this is going to come back and get you.
What do you mean?
Like 5 months from now, once the off season comes, me and Foxy are going to be banging that drum hard for 3 times a week. I mean, it is going to be something that we are going to be saying, hey, listen, pod fans, we're loyal listeners as well. We want this thing to be 3 times a week. Look, Billy McComas was even there whenever the brainstorm happened about, maybe he'll come.
That fucking guy. Who
cares?
I am confused on why we went from 3 to 2. We were supposed to go back to 3 the last football season.
Bingo.
It's just weird that never happened.
Hey, that is... he made that up. That guy's our history book. Go ahead.
You guys are massive fans.
I'm just
right?
looking for Mitt to come. Mitt can help clear this up. He's been around all the negotiations, hasn't he?
Mitt was not there last time. Oh, yeah, he was actually. Mitt was there whenever we did it.
Shoehorn Mitt onto a microphone. It's my new favorite thing.
I don't know where I'm at.
As long as he doesn't do it for things that actually matter. That was becoming a thing you started doing. You're like, I want to hear what Mitt says. Like, thanks, AJ. You've got a pretty good show. Like, I don't think now's the time to throw one of our guys
Mitt is
completely under the
22
bus.
though, right? 22 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah, AJ, I'm 22. What do you want now?
I'm not picking on you, bud. I think I'm 37. I'm much older than you. I could almost be your dad. I'm trying to see what are the kids talking about? What is their opinion on these things?
On what? The pod?
Everything. That's why I bring Mitt in a lot because I want to know. Hey, what are the?
Everything?
I don't want to be stuck in my little bubble.
I don't know. My friends watch the pod, but it's more to laugh at me. I don't know.
Oh, he's the show, dude. He's the show. I want 3 times a Mitt. Okay.
Me too.
And I'm happy to know I'm not the only one.
Me
okay.
too.
Now I hear there's other people in 3 times.
Change it to the Mitt.
Midcast.
No.
22-year-old walking himself into more work all of a sudden. Hey, shout out to everybody though. The pod legitimately is a show that I think I'm a fan of, actual fan of. It's one of the only shows I actually listen to. I think you guys are hysterical, but sometimes we've got to be adults, I guess, right? Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Who's singing national anthem tonight?
Ed Sheeran.
Shit, I don't know if I'm going to be live in 6 months. Yeah, let's go back to 3.
Ed won't be in the stadium, I bet.
Tony.
Ed will be in he'll be outside. He'll probably be
So run him in.
I'm sure there's pictures of the stage they set up outside the stadium.
right now at least, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying we need to look at it, but I'm sure you can see the setup somehow.
Tampa's a very impossible city to navigate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It is a difficult city to navigate.
A lot of exits.
There's
City
a lot
of exits.
There's exits off of exits.
A lot
and
of road
because you got
constructions.
water and construction. I mean, we were down there for 3 months or whatever. So I enjoyed the city, but there's a lot. The downtown area. Were we by the stadium ever? I don't know if we were.
No.
We'll drive in coming in, right? We would
The
see
airport.
it.
Yeah, the
By
airport.
the airport, we could see it.
So are they going to
But-
do this downtown with Ed Sheeran, or are they going to do it out by the stadium?
I would imagine it's out by the stadium, right?
Yeah, because make it like a festival.
Yeah.
Put them in the Yankee Stadium across
Who's
the
that?
street.
The Glazers? Do they own everything around that stadium or no?
I don't know. Do they lease it or? Because isn't that the?
Probably not because
It's the mall. There's a
Yankee
mall
spring
there, and then
training
the
is
Yankee
right next to
Stadium's
that.
Mr. Raymond James.
I've been to the stadium numerous times, and I have no idea where it's at down there. I wish I knew
The
more.
county owns the stadium.
Really?
Hillsborough County.
Hey, speaking of owning something, Pirates had 120 people at their game last night.
Sheesh.
Good God.
COVID restrictions, right?
True. That's what fucking nutting will say. And also, yeah, Ben Roethlisberger's playing football again, so Pittsburgh's like, we're done acting like we potentially...
Are you serious, though? It's got to be more than 120. Where'd you come up with that number?
No, it was actually tweeted
by a reporter that was there, DK, I don't know his full name, Dahn? Dejan? Kovacevic?
Kovacevic, of course. He tweeted out, distinguished Pittsburgh media member, he tweeted out a picture. Oh, people hate him. I didn't know that. Okay, but do you guys hate him?
Come on.
Nick?
Yay.
I don't hate him. He has a track record of some not so savory things.
Oh, this is a Bob
Be careful. I believe
Matt
he is.
situation.
Be careful. I believe he is suing another Pittsburgh radio
Give an
host who
example.
comes on the show sometimes.
Really?
I believe so.
All right.
Quite a war
say,
between
anyways,
those two coming
he's the one that took the photo, okay? He's the one that took the picture, and he said there's 500 people at this game or whatever, and it was just a lot of people dressed up like seats. I mean, the entire place looked like it. And obviously, I got tagged in a lot because it was like, where are those Pirates fans, by the way, that are bitching at me for not knowing about baseball? Why don't you go buy some tickets then, you fucking stooges? Why don't you go to the games?
Stooges. Sell a team shirt available 20% off.
Yeah.
Sell a team shirt. Very much available, 20% off, if Shopify will continue to work throughout the rest of the day.
Which remains to be seen.
Probably.
You know, a lot of things seem to happen when we do stuff. You know, we don't like celebrate it because it's like it kind of all fucks us over, everything that happens, but it seems like a lot of stuff happens, and we can't thank the people enough that have built this community. You're the fucking greatest humans on earth. We have made it through our worst time of existence. Yes. Now it is NFL regular season kickoff tonight. We'll be back tomorrow, 11 o'clock tomorrow. Hey, 11 o'clock mañana. All right, we're starting on YouTube. We'll join Sirius at noon. I will probably end up bouncing out early. I'll be there for a couple hours, I believe, and then I got to fly over to New York for Madison Square Garden on the eve of the 20th anniversary of September 11th SmackDown. That should be a great show tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be, I think, a pretty powerful thing.
Probably a can't miss, I would say.
I
Have you
think
talked to Ariel yet? I'm sure he's going to want to meet up.
I think Ariel is going to be there, from what I've been told. I think potentially the Trashers are going to be there.
Ooh.
But I believe there's a lot of first responders coming.
Nice. Sure.
And I believe it's going to be like a big thing. You know, I believe it's going to be massive. And if the internet's accurate, which the WWE put it out there, so you have to believe it, I guess, Brock Lesnar is going to be there.
Wow.
The alpha male of our species. I assume Vince McMahon's probably going to be speaking.
Probably. He addressed it. He had that speech after
First
the last
public
one, right?
assembly.
Yeah.
First public assembly after 9/11 was done by the WWE in Houston, and Vince McMahon cut a promo at the beginning that was basically like, fuck you all to the terrorists.
Wow.
Like, this is what we do, you know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of pride, obviously, within the WWE business, franchise for, you know, everything that goes on in this country and everything like that. So I think it's going to be a big deal. Like, I think tomorrow night's going to be awesome. But the show should be fantastic. We get to react to actual football.
Let's go.
Get to react to actual football. There'll be some drama shit we got to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Especially when the Bucks beat them by 80 points.
Is it on Fox?
Tonight?
Yeah.
NBC, I guess.
To be,
Sunday Night Football Crew?
NBC.
To be honest, I have made it through this entire show without saying the time of the game or the network because I have not known. And that was something, by the way, every time I wanted to say it, it was like, should have fucking known that.
Probably 8, right?
8:20 Eastern, I think, is when the actual kick is.
Probably not, though, right? That's probably...
It said 8:21 on some places, so they're just shooting for around there.
No, so normally they do have like an accurate number that is given because as we are always told it, kick, like I was always told it, like, hey, kick's at 7:34 or something like that. So normally if they do say a number that is abstract like that, normally it's pretty accurate.
Here we go.
I think it's because teams got to set up their warm-up. Because of it, so
Based
it becomes
on
like actual information.
The problem is you think 8 o'clock. Oh, kickoff's 8 o'clock. Cool, and you turn it on at 8, and then you realize, okay, we got 21 more minutes of them just buying time.
I got 8:20 NBC.
Okay, so and if you heard 8:21, that means that's probably when it's going to be. And Ed Sheeran's probably going to be smacking that guitar about 8
A
o'clock.
lot of rain right now.
Really?
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it'll come. It's Florida.
That's right.
Supposed to be clear for tonight.
You still feel good about 9.5?
Very.
Yeah.
Tom Brady played in Foxborough.
It's a sloppy old. Foxborough had field turf. This is real
Cowboys
grass
might
town.
not play Dak if the field conditions are bad because of his ankle.
Yeah, that's what Tony Romo's saying, right?
No Zach Martin.
I get a concussion again.
Yeah, I like the Bucks still do. Super boost plus 150. Hammered downs in 15 minutes. This is the most important hammered down that you have had
all time.
Uh-oh.
What's that?
Nothing.
You gave a face like you weren't ready 15 minutes. You need more time?
Come on.
We're ready.
Gumpy's been back in the back hooking on my Twitter account.
We're ready.
You ready?
We're
I thought we had
ready.
other scheduled obligations, so Hammer Down would not be 15 minutes after. Today's show would be later.
Oh, fuck. We got
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
we got a pretty big interview we got to do.
Oh, nice. When are you going to run it? Tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so.
Totally forgot about that.
Don't love that we're doing this, by the way. This is not going to become a normal thing.
So,
What's their name rhyme with?
Ailey.
Say again?
You heard me.
Ailey?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I get a first and last name?
Deuce.
Deuce.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Gotcha.
You have to find out tomorrow when the thing runs.
When are you going to run it tomorrow?
Who knows, dude? We don't do this, so I have no idea how this is going to work. And this is one of those things where I have to know when it's coming and when it's going. And this is when us not being really a scheduled show does fuck us when something like this happens.
We'll find a good slot for it.
We'll figure it out. I mean, we got a few minutes here to figure it out, and I just remembered that it's happening. It's like 7 minutes away. All right, so so about 4:05, I think Hammered Dahn begins. We will all probably make an appearance on this Hammered Dahn.
Mm-hmm.
We will let you know our final thoughts, final bets that Gumpy and Diggs have scoured through the FanDuel Sportsbook. I think Connor has some touchdown scores, some parlay builders. Make sure you get into the free daily fantasy entry. $1 million top prize. It's free to enter on FanDuel. $4 million in total prizes. And if you're in a legalized sportsbook, get your free bet from FanDuel. Let's take all of their money. They're projected to lose $107 million off of this. Let's make sure it's $200, $300 million. All right, AJ?
Sounds good, man. If it was in Ohio, I would be taking part.
It is in Arizona. Congrats, Arizona, today.
Yeah. AZ.
And congrats to FanDuel opening up a sports book in the Phoenix Suns arena.
Let's go.
Place is sweet.
It's fucking beautiful. And yeah, it's very nice. Congrats to FanDuel. That is obviously a massive thing to do. Congrats to them. That's huge. That's leveling up.
Yeah, exactly. It's the next level.
That's number one outright sports book. Shout out to them. Shout out to them.
Shout out.
Love
you, FanDuel.
Why'd you have to think about it?
I mean, because we are currently in an active negotiation with them, so any nice thing I say publicly is potential leverage against us. But I've enjoyed the hell out of my time with FanDuel, and I think they're an incredible sports book.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well said.
But that doesn't mean, like, you know.
Think you'd be getting bossed around.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that. All right, this is like NFL teams, right? They negotiate through the. Like, so I can't say anything too.
Not yet.
Hey, they're okay. I think there's a lot of things we can do to make them better.
That's right.
There isn't. They kind of got no ground to stand on in that particular aspect. But we're very thankful for FanDuel. And right now, the Super Boost is at the same exact spread, just much better than everybody else.
Boom.
They're probably going to change that going forward. If I had to guess, the emails I'm going to get for this whole thing will be hilarious and interesting. But let's enjoy tonight, AJ. And we'll see you Mignonne, pal.
All right, can't wait. Should be a fun game tonight.
Thanks to everybody that made the hashtag PMS Superb Al prediction trend number one. One person will win $50,000 once the Super Bowl teams are decided. Make sure you get your entries in before this game kicks off tonight, okay? We'll continue to run this. We will not trend all the way up until then. It will fall off quickly as something else comes in there, but you can enter all the way until kickoff, which is at 8:21 on NBC. We can't thank you enough. We did it. We got through the downtime. Let's celebrate. Let's enjoy this. Cheers. We'll see you again.